Hey, all, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us this year. We hope you have a great 2024, and I'm really excited to start off next year with the bang. So thanks again to joining us, and also want to say a super thank you to our 2 Patreon members, which would be OSUPD and Lyle77. Without you, we wouldn't be able to do this, as well as for everyone else listening. Thank you so much. And if you want to sign up, you can go to patreon.com/OGpod, and that'll get you there. You can also check the link in the description below. Again, thank you very much, and we'll see you all in 2024. Here's the episode. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Overachievers Gaming Podcast. I am your host, Vash, joined as always by the Ashy Pastrami, the Chef Crondo, and coming back.
I have 4. Sorry.
Back to us at the last episode of the year, the game of the year, and it's now just become tradition where DaHuch comes and joins us. Thanks for joining us, Hooch.
Hey, no problem. Always, man.
How you doing? It feels like this year went by real quick.
Really fast.
Oh, God.
Extremely
Dude, so fast. Yeah.
I was looking at the list of games from this year, and like some of them that came out, I'm like, that was this year?
Yeah, it's wild. It never changed. It's like, I'm like, wow, when did we play? When did I play this one? I was like,
Didn't Elden Ring just come out a couple days ago?
Yeah, I mean, that was last year.
I know. It's crazy for me to think that it was last year, and I could still pick up that game and it's
keep playing it.
I think the DLC is coming out pretty soon, right? I think they just announced it was like February or something like that.
Something like that. I can't remember. But yeah. But anyway, you can find us on OG on the interwebs, on all the internets, the TikToks, and all that fun stuff. The internets. You can find us on Instagram at OG.podcast. Our website is OG. Oh my God, I'm out of sync. I haven't.
It's okay. It's okay. We all are. It's okay.
You can find us on Instagram at OG.podcast. Our Twitter is OverachieversP. Our website is OGpodcast.fm, where we get this episode and every episode where we talk about what we're playing, what we're looking forward to, and a little bit of gaming news. Now, Hooch, you want to give us a little, for those who don't know and haven't listened to all 104 other episodes of this, because we're on 105 now. You want to give people like who you are, where you come from,
you're doing with your life.
Who I am. I'm nobody. No, no, actually, yeah, so
He's like, no, I am somebody.
What do you mean nobody? You're DaHuch, man. You're DaHuch.
No, I mean, what is that? I met you guys through wandering around. Actually,
we bonded through NCAA.
Yeah, there's that too. But mostly through the work I did with the Alternate podcast. Flash, you made a couple of appearances over there, and I came over here to hang out and chat with you guys, and eventually you allowed me to be a presence on some of podcasts, and it's been a good time chatting with you guys and stuff like that. But as far as what I do, I'm mostly a parent, and secondly, a game designer. Now, you know what? Let's flip that. I'm a game designer first and a parent second.
Don't let your wife hear that.
Don't let her hear that.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Parenting is always the number one priority. And every now and then I get
you are. Wink, wink, wink.
Nudge, nudge. Every now and then I get a chance to play some games. So that's why I'm here. And I like the idea that we have this as a reoccurring thing. A yearly thing. Gives me something to look forward to as far as just like being able to hang out and chat with you guys. Plus I listen to every podcast you guys do and hop in and chat a lot, and try and distract Ashi as much as possible.
I think I would like, well, funny. I think I would like to say I would rather have like 10 like just people that enjoy coming and hanging out, that interact with us, that just are wonderful human beings, over like 1,000 nameless people we'll never be able to chat with any day. So
you mean 1,000 people that would probably just like bait me into saying something really stupid, and then
we already have 3 of those.
Yeah. I'm like, do you really need 1,000?
We already have 3 of those.
That's funny.
But yeah, no, you're the best. We always appreciate you coming and hanging out with us.
Cool, thanks. I like being here.
Yeah. So for those who don't know or might be new listeners, what the way this Game of the Year episode works is we go through and we talk about our top 10 games of the year. Some of us may have 10.
The way this goes is I mention a game I've played 10 years ago that I thought came out this year usually.
And that is very true. But
Yep.
the goal is we quickly go through as a recap of our 10 through 6, and then we go into detail about our top 5. Now, if the team has any honorable mentions, which I have some honorable mentions, we can discuss those and go over those quickly. But is there anything else we're missing before we hop into it? Because this can get kind of long. So I like to just dive into it as fast as possible. So, but if you want to, you can find us on Twitch whenever we stream this live on Sundays, typically on the Eastern time around 10 a.m., 10 a.m., depending on what it is. You can find us on twitch.tv/OG Podcast, as well as our YouTube channel, which is at OG Podcast on the YouTube username. So, all right. So, we'll kick it to Hooch as our guest on the podcast to say, do you have any? I know you said you found 8, but do you have anything from 8 through 6?
Well, no. 8 was WoW Classic for him. So let's.
No. That moved. No. 8 wasn't WoW Classic. That actually moved up to 6.
Oh, it wasn't.
There are 2. The 8th one, but not 8 in a row. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
I do actually have. Yes, I could do 8 through 6 real quick. So first, I'm going to start with number 8. Street Fighter 6 was number 8 for me. Now, again, this is a total
I wanted to play
all the games that I played all year that were new. So it's not so much a top 10 as much as these are the list of games I played this year that I liked.
Before you get too hard, Josh, do you have headphones? Because I can hear feedback from your speakers.
Oh, I was wondering what the echo was.
Oh.
You can hear feedback? Oh, you know, I usually do wear headphones. I'm a fucking idiot. Just keep going. I'll put them on.
Keep going, yeah.
Okay. All right. So number 8 at Street Fighter 6. Again, it's on the list because it was the decent new games I played, but it was a fun game. It was, okay. It was still a mainline Street Fighter game, so I'm going to play it. Right. I'm going to at least do all the trials and tutorials and things like that. So I had fun doing that. They made some cool attempts on a story mode thing that I never really got into. Really? No, you could create your own fighter and blah blah blah. I'm like, I ain't got time for this. I'm just gonna go play the characters.
Yeah. So wait a minute. When you so you didn't do it, but if you do that, is it like RPG-ish where your character levels up, or is it like
you
get Soul Fighter, like Soul Calibur type deals?
I think it's like Soul Calibur type deal where you get new skills and you can customize the character the way they look and the things they're wearing, and so I think it feels more like that. But it's just
great fucking game right there, Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur 2 was my jam in college.
Soul Calibur 2, yep.
Up and triangle, my friend. Up and triangle. All you need to do. We used to call that Novocaine because you just do it and you can take somebody out every time. It's like, no Novocaine.
Yep. You're gone. Get out the ring. So, all right. And then moving on from Street
Fighter. Are we
Fighter,
good now? We good. Is the echo gone?
Yeah.
Hey.
No feedback.
Yeah.
Hey.
Whew.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
There we go. Sorry about that, guys.
Moving to number 7, Diablo 4. The early to mid game of it was
further up the list, closer to 10 or honorable mention.
Nah, because there are other games that I played more that I had more fun with.
Exactly.
But don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Like the beginning of Diablo 4, getting into the world and exploring that was a lot of fun. The story was pretty cool. Visually it looked great. I liked the idea of swapping the aspects for when you get gear. It was a good idea, just executed poorly. But
100%.
The biggest thing, obviously, was still just the itemization. I don't want to spend an hour a play session, 45 minutes of it trying to go, is this thing better than this thing for my build? And this? And then it was just too expensive to swap, so it didn't allow for a lot of experimenting. So
I guarantee you somebody's like, well, how do we get players to spend more time in the game so they can look at the shop more? It's the best way to do that. You can just go through and make it so it's just...
Should have had a built-in calculator to go along with it.
Yeah,
I think their intention was pretty good. I think where they fell apart was there were just too many stats in the game to make it so it was easy to pick up and understand. Yeah. So they made it too complex and it just wasn't fun. So what's slid in at number 6?
That when you go into a dungeon, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. No. Go ahead.
Turn your mic
I guess
up
we
a
don't
little bit
really
too,
have to talk about them. Yeah, just Yeah, keep going.
Wait, who's Mike? Who's Mike?
We can rip
My Mike?
after.
Mike, no, Chef. She's a
Josh's.
little quiet.
Chef, did you hear that? Turn your mic up. Can you hear us?
Sure.
Hello?
No, is this?
I'm going. Keep
You didn't
going.
acknowledge me or
I know. He didn't say anything. Everyone's like, "What is going on?" Moving on from Diablo, though, number 6, thanks to Josh adding that in at the end, was Season of Discovery. Forgot that came out. It was considered a new thing. But like, it was kind of cool to go back to the classic era of WoW again, like true classic. Even with its frustrations, because I play a hunter, and it's like, oh great, something that gets close to me, I can't use the primary thing that I'm supposed to be using, which is a ranged weapon. But it was kind of cool to see how they added skills from later expansions into the game for players to have like early on. So like early in my WoW my hunter experience, I got like what was it? Explosive shot. Chimera shot. So it was a bunch of cool things that I had that I could use that made the game a little bit more, fun, a little easier to access. And like, plus it was a little bit was like the exploration to try to find some of these things. Like some of them were just like kill X mob until it drops one. Some were like
the runes that give you those abilities.
For the runes. Sorry, for the runes to get the abilities. And some were like, hey, go find a tree, put a hunter's mark on it, a dude will pop out, kill the dude, you get the rune. I'm like, that's pretty clever.
I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Yeah. And then it was cool because then players as a community got together to try and figure out how to get all of these. And then when they got them, it was about trying to get them all and helping people out. And it wasn't a thing where like,
wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
exactly.
So it actually so for World of Warcraft, not to interrupt you, but like people figure this shit out like before the game even comes out, like through the data mining. It took people 4 days to find the rune for the Warlock that unlocks their meta ability that makes them look like the big purple demon that actually allows them to be a tank. Because that was like the big thing, is that they added a Warlock tank to this thing, but they basically did not let anybody pre-play this version of the game before it came out. So it took that rune was the longest one, and then the Crusader, I think it was Divine Storm for the Paladin. That one took 3 days for them to figure out, and it took like a team of probably like 60 something Paladins that were going around. I think that's pretty fucking cool, personally, for a game that's been out for X amount of years, But anyways, I didn't want to interrupt you. You obviously all know I'm fucking hype about WoW, but
I like it because it's a good start.
No,
what? No, I didn't know that. Most likely it's a good start, right? It's a good base. They can introduce things, and then they can get kind of crazy with stuff, and it doesn't impact like the regular mainline stuff that's in, because you still have Wrath and Cataclysm coming. So it's a whole separate thing, which is still pretty cool and fun. And that
kind of have like 4 different versions of WoW going right now. They have like retail, they have hardcore, they have
I forgot about hardcore,
Wrath of the Lich King, and then they have this Seasons of Discovery, which is not bad.
Does your $15 a month get you access to all of them?
Yeah. Well, actually, my $15 paid for my subscription once, and now I buy the WoW tokens that have paid for my subscription for the next year, I guess. So I don't actually pay for my subscription anymore.
Actually, me neither, because I had somebody who used to work at Blizzard who gave me a free year.
Oh, look at this guy using the.
I don't have. No,
I got a guy.
It ends this month, so next month, either I got to pony up or I'm not playing anymore.
I got a guy. He says. Sounds like a Tommy quote. I got a guy.
But that's what I got. Yeah.
All right. So that's your top 4, 3.
Top 3. Yeah.
There you go. All right, Dom, you're next on my screen. What do you got?
Let's hear Dom's top 3.
I have 4 now, because I realized. No, actually, no, I do have 5. 1, 2, because one of them was a remake that I didn't realize came out at the beginning of the year, and one of them is a beta that officially has come out.
Wait, so you should have 5 now. So
I think I can
wait for you.
Let's wait for mine.
All right, Josh.
Can I guess
I think I should say something. I feel like for most of the year, the 2 games I played the most of were Phasmophobia and DayZ. But I also didn't get to play many video games this year, from work. I had surgery. I traveled for Warhammer stuff, which I'm not gonna toot my own horn, but this might not sound like a lot, but when you're playing against professionals, it is. I just went last weekend. I was in Boston. I came in 20th out of 100. Went 3-2.
It's dope.
That's awesome.
In a major, in a grand tournament. The one of my losses was the guy that got 3rd. So like,
Yeah, don't downplay
pretty
that. That's
good
dope, dude.
about that. That was really fun for
Connor show
someone
up?
that doesn't play. What'd you say?
Did Connor show up?
Connor show up.
Oh, poor Connor. No, Connor's 12 years old, doesn't travel. This was in Boston. He's not going to go to Boston for that. So no, funny.
Damn it,
Very funny
Connor.
bit. But yes, I have not got to play many new games yet, but I do want to recognize there were a lot of good games this year that if I put the will into it, I would have enjoyed playing.
Do you have any honorable mentions then? That's
Well,
what this is.
well, I
for.
guess what I would have liked to have played, probably like Spider-Man's 2. Spider-Man's 2?
For Spider-Man's 2.
Spider-Man?
Spider-Man's
With Spider-Man's.
Dad.
Yeah. Hogwarts
Spider-Man's.
Legacy. I don't think I would have really vibed with it because I don't really like the turn-based kind of style and like that sort of RPG. But Baldur's Gate 3 probably, if I would have gave it, if you were like Dom, if we were chilling together and you're like, here, hand me, a mouse keyboard, play Baldur's Gate, I would do it, but I'm not gonna like go out of my way to play it. But I know that it's probably a great game. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, most definitely those would probably be it really for me.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, we'll come back to my only 5.
All right, Josh, you're in the hot seat.
All right, so honorable mentions, right?
Yep.
All right,
You
so
can
I'm
do honorable
giving
mentions and then the top. The
I'm
bottom.
giving God of Plan Stands top 2, Octopath Traveler 2, and Sea of Stars. I didn't get to play either one of them. Actually, that was a joke about Stan, but these were the 2 games that if I had time, that's the 2 games I would have wanted to play. Sea of Stars looked fucking incredible. Like it looked straight up like for me one of the old school like not 8-bit, like 16-bit kind of Super Nintendo type. It looked like a cross between Chrono Trigger and another RPG from Super Nintendo. Anyways, piqued my interest
Earthbound?
massively. I can't remember exactly what game it was, but it was like it looked like it played like Chrono Trigger, but it had like the sprites from some other kind of some other game. But anyways, it just looked like a jacked up Super Nintendo game for me, which y'all know I'm the remake master, so like that shit's right up my alley. So I have the game downstairs. I'm too addicted to Season Discovery. In WoW, but those are my 2 honorable mentions. Also, I am getting this for Christmas, but Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster Collection. It's 1 through 6 of Final Fantasy.
Okay.
They actually put it all in one. I picked that up on Black Friday. I'm very excited to like have this on the Switch and just kind of have it as like a what's going on?
Oh, what was
Sound
that?
like Terminator. Oh,
Whoa.
it's Charlie. Charlie, it's you.
Oh, something happened.
You gotta love Squadcast.
I know. I was like mid-sentence.
You gotta love Squadcast.
What was I talking about again?
I wish
Well,
some
while
Chrono
we're waiting.
Trigger.
Yeah, but while we're waiting, Josh, next year, you and I, you
Yeah.
know what's going to be on
Is
our
it
top
finally
10, right?
happening? Is it finally happening?
It has to. It has to. I think it's this
Is it
year.
finally
it's 2024. It's 2024.
You and I are gonna have to have like a NCAA pop off. Like we're gonna have to like play against each other. I cannot wait to play my best friend in NCAA, dude. It's gonna be so much fun. And I'm probably gonna get my ass destroyed, but I don't even care. Like
Here's
it would
what
just
I
be the
hope
sheer
they
fact.
don't do. I hope they don't turn into Madden where you need to be in
Where it's like all the hit stick
coordinator.
bullshit and like
Well, just
yeah.
you need to be a coordinator in order to make all of the pre-snap adjustments in order to be successful.
I don't like
want
that.
crap.
I don't like
Yeah.
that. I don't like that at all. No. Give me the old school. Just like let me fucking call a play. Let me like. Let me get the flank over to the left, tap the foot back, and then run the triple option to the right. You know what I'm saying? Like let me
Damn near
run
Tech
it, please.
Mobile. Give me 4 plays.
Yeah,
that
I
pick
don't-
From. They have 4 plays that try to counter me, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't need this guy blitzing me from 3 different angles from setting up from him reading what my play is going to be. I don't need that shit. I need I need my Boise State versus Colorado State, or my boys
Ooh.
Boise and I'm Colorado. I don't know why we picked these teams. I think he picked Boise because it had the
ugly ass field.
yeah, the blue field or whatever, the blue
Yes.
turf or whatever.
Yeah, the blue turf.
So
Yeah.
the rule we always had was no top 25. If you play top 25, you're cheating. Like you're basically relying on the game to overpower your roster with a top 25 team. That was like our rule back in the day. But
No, it's
so,
good
we
rule.
would do
Charlie,
shit like
how you doing? Before we keep going. No.
Nope.
what the fuck?
You sound like a Why did it?
Okay.
Did it change your microphone in the first place?
Oh,
Okay, now I just have to do extra work because I have to like actually like stitch these together as opposed to just putting them on top. I'm not going to touch anything in my computer because apparently if I like sneeze, my GoXLR Mini will just disconnect. So it is what it is. Here we go.
Don't sneeze.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna text Amanda to come
Um,
tickle you with the feather.
I do have one question though, Charlie. You're still using a Go XLR with all of the other things that have come out, all the hardware that tried to replace it?
I didn't even know anything about it.
Oh, I'll send you some links, sir.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just have it because it works. Well, it's not working. if
When it works.
broke, don't fix it. But now
Yeah.
it's broke, so now I got to fix it. So
Yeah, yeah,
All right,
yeah.
so we were talking about. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no,
it's your turn. You got to finish your top.
Yeah. You were on you.
I was finishing up. We were talking about the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster Collection on the Switch.
Get a little
That was
closer
like
to
the
your mic,
last
Josh.
of
It's
my.
hard to hear you. Or
Turn
your mic
the
up.
gain up, something.
There we go. There we
Or
go.
could you hear me now?
Oh, there you
little
go.
bit.
That's very good.
Yeah.
It's like a radio man.
All right, how about now?
There we go.
Yeah. There we go.
Nice.
There we go. Are we good now? Okay.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So we were talking about the final. I was doing my honorable mentions. We'll move on from there. Okay. Octopath 2, Sea of Stars, Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster Collection, Dog Shit Game of Eternity, Final
Oh,
Fantasy 15.
Is my mic still good? Because it says it's like way heated right now on my meter.
You're totally
No, I can.
fine.
Yeah.
Weird. Right, if you're watching the stream, it shows that my mic's like like here on this side is like all.
Oh yeah, it does show that, but it's only in the stream though, because in our
I
squad
don't know.
cast is totally fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. As long as that's fine, I don't care.
Dude, what is happening?
Okay, back to Dog Shit Game of Eternity, Final Fantasy 15. Fuck that game. And yeah. Anyways, moving on.
Wow.
It's almost like he has strong opinions on things. Hey, you know,
Charlie
Is
just
that
Charlie's mic just.
Oh no, did it just mute?
Yeah, dude, he can't talk. He's like, yeah, I can see the look. He did one of these.
Yeah.
He did one of these like he rolled the sleeves up and went and got and like sat up an extra. So let's go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on. All right.
Third
All
time's
right.
a charm for the recording.
All
I
right.
apologize. This is gonna be
Honorable
weird.
mentions:
Let's
Octopath
do
2,
this.
Sea of Stars, Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster
Not touching
Collection,
anything.
Dog Shit Game of Eternity, Final Fantasy 15. Fuck that game. Moving on.
what is happening? It's
Charlie, you're next on your
I'll check.
honorable
You
net
did,
mentions.
you did your top five, your 10 through 5.
Oh, am I doing my top 5 as well? Oh, okay,
No, 10
okay, yeah.
through 5, 10
No,
through-
no.
or
Oh,
10
yeah,
through
yeah,
6,
yeah.
10
I
through
know,
6.
10 through 6, 10 through 6. Okay, so number 10, Detective Pikachu Returns. Great game. Great, cute, fun game. Played that with the girl. Good game to play with somebody who's not like an engaged gamer. Number 9 for me was Endless Dungeon. We were talking about this earlier, but I'm not usually into these like tower defense kind of games, but I really dug this one. Like my best friend and his brother and I like beat the shit out of this game, and we had a lot of fun like being like, all right, so we got to set up a turret here, and then you go stand over there, and then you go, we had a lot of coordination was involved, so it was pretty fun. Number 8, Dom, you need to check this game out because it's silly as fuck. It's called Wrestle Quest. Have you heard of it?
Sounds like what
I'm not even joking, dude. It is legitimately a very fun game. It's like I don't know how to explain it. It's like, yeah, it's as over the top as you think it
great.
is, right?
It looks
Oh,
great.
it's fucking
Yeah,
incredible.
it's
It's an RPG game with wrestle people. Yeah, like it's
watch it,
over the top incredible. I had a lot of
portions are funny.
yeah, dude. I had a lot of fun playing this game. It's super funny. It's something I played on my iPad. Like it's something like super casual, you know what I mean? It's not like a game you play with like a controller. I mean, you can play it on Xbox and shit like that, but I don't know why you would. But
Wrestle Quest.
Wrestle Quest,
Yes.
yeah. Like it's
Okay.
it's a stupid ass game. I'm not playing, but it was fun. I had a lot of fun with it. So, I mean, and that's what we're supposed to do when we play games, right? We're supposed to have fun, I think, right? There's so
Yeah.
like
No,
yeah.
sweat.
Well,
Always.
yeah,
Only
yeah.
sweat.
It's not,
I gotta-
not on the iPhone, so I'm guessing it's an iPad only game.
Maybe I didn't play it on my. What did I play it on? Maybe I played it on my Switch. I don't remember. I played it on
Steam.
something.
It's on Steam.
Oh, maybe.
Steam.
Okay.
Did you
I'll
get a
try it
Steam
on
Deck? Did you play it on Steam Deck or something?
I don't have a Steam Deck, but I thought I played it on one of. Oh, you know what? I think I played it on
No,
my.
it is on iOS and Android. It is. According to Wikipedia,
I think I want
it's on
to.
iOS and
iPad
Android.
then. Is it all one word, WrestleQuest, or is it two words?
Yeah.
2 words or 1 word. 1 word. Camel case.
Okay.
It's 2 1-words.
It's 2 1-words. It's
Okay.
It's 1 2-word.
So WrestleQuest, I would if you're into some cheeky gaming, and especially Dom, I really think you should check it out because it's right up your fucking alley. But anyways, number 7 for me, Final Fantasy 16.
Also,
Great
I
game.
got a standing desk.
Oh, look at this man. So number 16 or number 16. Number 7 is going to be Final Fantasy 16.
That's what this is right here.
What, a standing desk?
Yeah.
Nice.
Like I could sit right here
Never
and
got
just be
for-
like,
for my neck.
I'm gonna let Charlie dive into Final Fantasy some more, but like it was a good game. I just genuinely didn't have the time to really dive into it. But great game, great story. I unfortunately think I've fallen out of love with Final Fantasy because of how shitty Final Fantasy 15 was.
Because you got your ass beat last year.
Is that what it was?
oh,
Wait, how did he get his ass beat? Was it like the finishing it?
No, you beat my ass at several other. Oh, are you gonna talk about the what was the other game?
Crisis Core? You can't. You don't even
No, you're talking about Crisis Core. You didn't
Crisis
even give me a
Core.
fucking fair shot at that shit. I was waiting for you to start playing the game, and then I show up to the fucking stream, and you pull up the damn completion of the last trophy. I didn't even fucking play the game, dude. Like, yeah, okay, you're gonna bring that up. You're gonna bring that up again.
argue.
That's funny.
I'm gonna argue
That's
he
funny.
gave you ample opportunity, but the problem is you went with GameStop.
I wasn't. It might have been. It might have been.
fair.
It might have been.
That's fair.
It might have been. That's oh my god, my fucking quest. Oh god, GameStop. You know, you would think, right? You would think that my dumb ass, after like 15 stories that I've brought to this damn podcast, that, you know, I would learn my fucking lesson, but I sure as
There is no-
hell
Josh,
have
there-
never
there
learned
is
my
no
lesson.
What would you have to
learned.
talk about?
Exactly.
There would be no chef rants then.
There would be no rant.
So,
Yeah, exactly. We need somebody
Oh, man.
who goes through the shit so the rest of us don't.
True.
Right.
As a
But
cautionary
do me a
tale.
favor though, keep buying GameStop so my stonks keep going.
gotcha. They're
We're still to the moon, boys. We're not there yet. We're still going to the moon.
Yeah, 100%.
are you still waiting for it to go to the moon? Is that what you said?
Any day now.
Okay, and then number 6, Metroid Prime Remastered on the Switch. Fucking incredible, dude.
Sorry, honorable mention. Thank you.
No, you're welcome.
That's
it was great.
honorable.
I mean, I'm sorry for me. Like, I loved the Metroid games. Super Metroid on Super Nintendo, one of my all-time favorite games. Fucking incredible. The
Yes. Yes.
the ones they did on the Wii, that like Metroid Prime or whatever, I always loved them. I thought they were great. The remaster was gorgeous. Like, actually, I feel like the Switch is like way stronger than it seems like it is, or like it has the ability to put out some pretty crazy graphics, even though it's not touted for being a machine that does that. But anyways, that's my top. That's my 10 through 6. There you go.
I think, sorry to talk about the Switch thing. Nintendo is the one that typically is able to get the most out of the system because it's the only one they designed for. So obviously,
Right. They know
they're
how to
developers
maximize
they know how to, and for everyone else, it's an afterthought. It's we'll put it out on
Yeah.
Switch, and then they have to tone it down. They're targeted for that console, so that's
makes
why
sense.
they'll get. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Oh, can
That
I
being
put my
said, I'm
biggest?
not
Can
playing
I put my
Prime.
biggest disappointment of 2023? Because I
Sorry,
did
yeah,
say
go
You
for it.
said fuck like 10 times when you talk about Final Fantasy, so that's not it.
no, it's not. I gotta say
Shocker.
Starfield. Starfield was the biggest disappointment
Oh.
for me, because I thought it was gonna be like. I didn't
Game
get
I
it.
played 1 hour of.
I don't know. Did you only play 1 hour of it?
Starfield.
I played a literal hour of Starfield, and I was like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah, it just. I'm sorry, but for
I wish I didn't buy it.
Was it free on Games Pass?
Oh, it
Was it?
Thank you. I didn't buy it.
Give me my month back.
give me my time. I want my hour back. Damn it. But yeah, that was my biggest disappointment because I thought I was gonna be like a Fallout or like something of that caliber, and it just looked like a very unpolished game completely. Like that's straight up.
released around the same time as Baldur's Gate, right? Was it shortly
Like
after?
I think so,
August?
yeah.
Like August
Yeah.
or right
Okay.
before? It was like July or August. I don't remember.
I remember speaking of shit GameStop, thoughts. I remember an employee in GameStop telling me that I was a fucking idiot because I thought Baldur's Gate 3 was going to be game of the year.
Told you you're a fucking idiot.
He told me I was a fucking idiot.
You're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Verbatim for
Literally verbatim told me I was a fucking idiot. By the way, yeah, I'm not even sure. This kid was like definitely the kind of GameStop employee that you would imagine would be saying something like that to somebody on the streets. I elicit these types of things out of people because I don't know, whatever.
Josh, I live in New York City. I don't think anyone in my life has called me a fucking idiot. You're trying to tell me this game.
I live in Florida. Like, what do you I get all the trash that don't want to live up there. They come down here, dude.
That can't survive up there.
They can't survive. They're not real New Yorkers. They're like wannabe New Yorkers. So they come down here and try to be like, hey, I'm from New York. Fuck you. You know, and then you're a real New Yorker. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, this little dipshit says to me, I have whatever fucking idiot for thinking that Baldur's Gate 3 was going to be the best game of the year. He said Starfield was going to be the best game of the year. Point and case, kid's a fucking moron. Moving on.
You know what?
I mean, you could have, and not to disparage anyone who does this type of job or whatever, but like if he wanted to call you a fucking idiot, you can be like, well, you work at GameStop.
Ooh. How are those stocks holding up?
Yeah, you can say.
Yeah, it's like, bro, you work at GameStop, man. Come on.
I honestly, like, when people say stuff to me like that in public, I just laugh. I can't even.
And like I said, I'm not trying, like, anybody who does work at GameStop who is a decent human being, that's not a slight against them because they're still a decent human being. But if you're a piece of shit and you work at GameStop,
Pimple Butt Zero.
Did I say Pimple Butt? I think I did say Pimple Butt. I called him a Pimple Butt, not Josh. I called the GameStop worker Pimple
the GameStop.
Butt.
All right. So I got a couple of honorable mentions. These are games that I wanted to play, did not get a chance to play, but probably will play when they go on sale in the future. So the 4 I have is Remnant 2. I was a big fan of the first one, Remnant from Ashes. So they had released a sequel that I really, really enjoyed that game. Company of Heroes 3, because I love me some real-time strategy. I saw that it came out. I was like, I really want to play that. I have no time. Armored Core 6. Because I really love From Software and I love the Armored Core series and I really want to play it, but again, just didn't have any time. And I bought this game and I have not even downloaded and installed it, which is Dead Space. So I really wanted to play Dead Space.
Yeah, that's in dummies.
I was waiting for the theater to be done, and I haven't played it since.
What a mention!
Yes, everyone look at that theater behind Charlie there. That nice, awesome. Like, yeah. Mm-hmm,
screen. Mm-hmm, yeah, I was playing Baldur's Gate before we were.
Dude, if I played Dead Space on that thing in the pitch black, I'd have shit my pants.
That's the idea. I want to do that. I just don't have the time. Now I have all for the rest of the year.
You don't want to really shit your pants in those nice leather couches. I would literally.
They're very easily clean, so you can.
All right, guys. Ryan doesn't need them the rest of the year, so.
You heard it.
Is this the basement that Ryan built? There
you go.
You heard it. Deadpool 3 is being worked on, or right. It's being edited right now. You heard it here first.
Exactly, right behind me. Yeah, that's exactly. All right, so 10 through 6 for me. Number 10 for me was Endless Dungeon. I really enjoyed it, but that game, it's frustrating as shit for me. But I did enjoy it. I like the indie developers for those games. But I ran into too many bugs and problems with it, like the little thing you have to escort gets like caught in walls randomly, and I was just like, it just killed the run for me and killed my motivation for like wanting to keep playing. And I was like, I can't deal with it. And then the multiplayer thing was like super strange. Like you weren't getting progress for like being in like a co-op mode. So I was like, all right, well, single player is great. I got to like all the way to the end level like multiple times, and then just could not progress with it. So and I gave it a fair shot. I think I probably put like 30 hours into it. I was like, no, can't do it anymore. I'm also not a big roguelike person and fan anyway, so. But I enjoyed it. So thanks to Stan for giving that suggestion.
Oh yeah, I remember you posted about that game.
Yeah, number 9 was for me is Hogwarts Legacy. I quite enjoyed it, but I could not just get into it. And
you're not a wizard, Harry. It's okay. You're not a wizard.
I'm not a wizard. I'm not big into Harry Potter, so
it's okay. No problem.
It's just not my cup of tea, but I enjoy
you
limited time that
you do things like platinum games before I can even play them. That's your cup of tea.
Before you even install them, yes. Number 8 for me might come as a surprise, but was Assassin's Creed Mirage. So
No, I don't find that surprising because it's been slipping down your list year after year. Like every year, it was like I feel.
You mean
Assassin's Creed? Yeah, I feel like the year that I met you, it's not to cut you off, but Assassin's Creed was like in your top 3, and it has been slowly inching down towards the bottom of the list.
that's how I feel about the developers. It's been slowly slipping and inching down in terms of quality. So
I'm sure the team probably feels it too.
I enjoyed the kind of I liked that it was like a 40-hour game, right? It wasn't like the 200 hours I put into Valhalla, which I hated the last like half of that game. The last 100 hours I put into that game, it was just terrible. I like the short amount of story that I put in it. The story was shit. It was just absolutely garbage. It was just like. It just, as a storyteller, it just made me frustrated because like I could tell the potential was there, but like it just felt like somebody just went to ChatGPT and say, what can we do for a storyline that has like a surprise ending to it? And that's essentially what they spit out. And it just didn't feel great. And like the animations for enemies, like you would attack an enemy like with your sword and they did nothing. Like you would hit them and they would like wind up their next attack. They didn't reel, they didn't do anything else, they didn't react.
No reaction.
Like, you hit them and they just like were like mid swing to you and like it just didn't feel. It was fine. I really like the stealth aspect to the whole thing, and I like how it was just kind of like you had to go back to the original Assassin's Creed where you had to do more listening, more stealth-based, hide in plain sight. I wish they'd do more of that, but just make the next one better. So, and I'm actually really excited to see the Assassin's Creed VR, which I kind of want to try when it comes out, I think sometime next year, but we'll see. Number 7 for me was Meet Your Maker, which was a puzzle game. It was free on PlayStation Plus. And it was kind of like a trap game where like you set up a whole bunch of like you like build a level that you have to set up traps for people to come play, and the goal is like you have to build a clear path for them to get to get the thing, but then you have to build a whole bunch of traps for them to get to, and then when you retrieve like I forget what it's called, it's like some nucleus or some gene or something like that at the end, you could set so the traps would like switch to a new set of traps, so like you have different ways. So it was really I really enjoyed those kind of like puzzle map building games because I used to be huge into building my own maps of like did you ever play Tenchu back in the day? Like you used to be able to like Tenchu 3 you could like build your own stealth missions, which was super fun. So that's why I loved that, and I had a big fan of that. So for me, number 6, this is going to be controversial to Chef, but number 6 for me was Resident Evil 4. So
that's way too far down your list, man. You just didn't. Are you burnt out on the remakes of Resident Evil?
No, I enjoyed it, but they're just better games in my opinion. So, but anyway, those are my.
You're not allowed to have. I mean, you're entitled to have a shit opinion, man. It's not a problem. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. Totally joshing you.
He's joshing you.
He's Josh. Oh.
The boy got joshed.
Yeah, and I did not play I guess an honorable mention to the new God of War DLC because I literally just came out like this week and I haven't had. I didn't even know about it until yesterday. So
I will play it, but I haven't played it yet.
Yeah,
agreed.
Anything God of War, dude. That game was so fucking fun, man. Like I feel like there's few games that come out that I'm just like I get like really fucking emotionally attached to, and like Last of Us was one of them. God of War 3 was definitely one of them where like I wanted to fucking see to the end what was going to happen with that story. Like it was so fucking good.
Yeah, very curious. I didn't even know they were doing DLC for it, so I was surprised to hear.
I had no idea.
I truly feel that we're moving towards an era where there's like a distinct difference between those of us that are looking for a story cinematic experience along with the gameplay. Like we've all played with like the games have been done a million times over, so like some of us actually need the storyline to get into, whereas like some people are just robotic and they want just to mow through shit in a new format. And I definitely feel
you can have both.
Yeah, I know you. Yeah, but I mean, like,
okay, no, let's do.
Yeah, but like, you can have both. But like, The Last of Us is like one of the only versions I could say that's like that, and it's just there's so few and far between. That's all, in my opinion. It's really hard to do.
Very hard.
It's doable. Anyways,
okay, number 5, Hooch, what you got?
Number 5 for me is a late entry because it just came out and isn't technically a full game on its own, but is an element of an existing game, and that is Lego Fortnite.
Oh, you were saying that. What is this? What is this?
Fortnite.
Explain this to me, please.
I love it.
So,
this is why you're here.
Before I respect you more.
This is why you're here. We have you because I don't know what this shit is.
So if you've played games, Survivor games like Valheim and other things and Grounded and stuff like that, it should be a very familiar game to you. They simplified it though, which I think is the reason why I became hooked on it. They made it easier, but now it's got a Lego IP on top of it. It looks freaking amazing, like as far as visually. The team, the Epic's team that's doing Fortnite has just been able to like sort of like what like Blizzard's team with WoW has done is they've taken a thing that's super old and continually updated it and made it more cutting edge and added visual fidelity and things. What's that?
You mean the base game, not the battle royale?
No. Lego Fortnite is a total the battle royale, not Fortnite the base game. The battle royale game is like, but that's where they're doing a lot of their technological.
There is Fortnite. Yes, yeah, that's where it all stemmed from. And I love the originals Fortnite.
I did too. I thought it was a great idea, but then they turned it into a battle royale, and that's the only thing anybody knows about it is the fact that it's a battle royale. But now they've gone and they've decided they're going to add new features or new game modes to it, right? And it was almost like somebody came around and said, "Hey, let's take the creative mode of adding new stuff to this game and just crank it up." So now you've got Lego Fortnite, which is the survival aspect of it. But then there's also another element to it that really drew me in. Fortnite Festival. Epic bought Harmonix, and I had not remembered that until, somebody told me Epic bought Harmonix. I have to check it out, but I think that's what happened. So, and this is from my 12-year-old son who's actually pretty knowledgeable about this stuff. He goes, "Yeah, Dad, Epic bought Harmonix." I'm like, "What?" So they put Rock Band in Fortnite.
Oh my God!
What do you mean
right now and play this?
What do you mean?
They put Rock Band in Fortnite. Like there's a game mode that is.
There's Rock Band in fucking Fortnite.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
My mind is blown right now.
Yes.
Didn't even know this existed. This is amazing.
How does that work?
It's just you play with a controller rather than playing with like instruments and stuff.
Can you play with the instruments? Because I still have all the instruments.
I don't know. That I do not know. It would be really freaking cool if you could.
That's a series that I always wondered why it's not around anymore, because people would still get into it.
Licensing.
You know, is that what it is, you think?
Well, licensing and the plastic instruments always broke, and it's a hard thing to keep like a bunch of. Where are you going to put them? Like, not everybody has space to put a set of plastic instruments in their house at all times.
No, I had it in Brooklyn. I have no idea how I fit that.
Says the man that has a literal electronic drum kit stashed in the corner of his room.
Oh, you're talking about? I had this.
You're talking about me
behind me.
Yeah, I'm talking about Hooch.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's for the kids use that.
I'm kidding. No, I know.
But yeah, that's number 5 for me. I don't like Survivor games, but I put the most time. I thought when it came out, I'm gonna be playing the shit out of Fortnite Festival. Like, give me that Rock Band, give me that Rock Band.
Let me ask you a question, because I don't get it at all. So I know I played Fortnite Battle Royale. Okay, so you're saying that there is a format of this where it's all Lego based.
Yeah.
It looks great. They've been doing tons of marketing for it in Times Square, or not Times Square, near the Rockefeller Center where the tree is. There's a giant installation for Lego Fortnite, and it's really cool, actually.
What a brilliant idea
to the game.
It's a new add to the game. Like, you have to launch Fortnite, and then you go in, and there's just the game mode.
So it's not like a separate game you have to buy.
No. You don't have to buy it at all. It's free. Fortnite's free, so that's perfect.
Wild.
But like one of the things that I thought was interesting, he's like, I gotta check this out.
He's got this look on his face. He's like, I know what I'm doing for the rest of the day. Sorry, Amanda.
And I will probably be doing this the rest of the day. One of the interesting things that I found was, like, obviously it's new. It's a shallow, like the Fortnite, Lego Fortnite, whatever. It's not super deep, right? So it's pretty easy to go through, like, the progression that they have. But what's really funny was it was so popular that you can see the number of players in the launcher, right, in the lobby for the different game modes they have. And Lego Fortnite regularly, when it launched, had more players in it than both the Battle Royale and the Zero build combined.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's since fallen off, but like when you're saying like you're playing like 900,000 are in the battle royale, and then another 5 or 6 or whatever are in the zero build, and then 2.5 million are playing Lego Fortnite.
When that new drops, man, everybody gets in on it.
That new
It's since settled at about 7 or 800. I think is where it tops out now,
crazy.
but that's still good. Yeah,
That's an insane amount of people, dude.
yeah. Yeah, and they're saying it's permanent. They've got plans for it to expand it in the future. There's a lot of room for expansion. So, yeah, this is a thing that's going to be around for quite some time.
What a time to be alive.
Right?
Who knew that a game that can't... When did Fortnite Battle Royale come out? It was like 2017 or something like that, right?
Something like... It's been a while, yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. Anyway. All right, Dom, number 5.
Number 5 for old Dommy is Diablo 4. Not even because I thought it deserved to be in my top 5.
You didn't like it
because I
that
have no
much.
other space down the list.
I didn't have any place. So you would have been like 10, 7, nothing, 8, nothing.
It would have been in my top 10.
Dom, I feel like you were very underwhelmed with the game.
So it's pretty much this happened in Diablo 3.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen with this one. Diablo 3 vanilla. I played a bunch. I did what I could, and then I stopped because it couldn't hold me. And then like 6 months later, they came out with a Reaper Souls, and the shit was fire, and it was like the best game ever. And I put like 1,000 hours in it. I'm just waiting for that to happen. And I think Diablo 4 it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's not I guarantee you, since the release, they immediately were like, everyone give us a Reaper Souls. So like, and that's fine. I don't care. I got what I wanted out of it. I enjoyed I think the story was really cool. The graphics were a nice redo. The classes were all very nice. Everything about it was great. It had, and I think exactly what Hooch said, it had too much complexity for not enough like output. So there was too much to do in it without getting your reward out of it, I felt. And Diablo 3, I did the exact same thing for like 8 hours a game session. I would just rip dungeons. And it was good. It was good. It didn't matter. Like I didn't have to like think too. It was awesome. It was cool. That's all I really need out of this. I just need it to be not as annoying. Yeah. So whatever. I don't think it was a bad game by any means. I just think it's not what I wanted, and I'm graciously waiting for the update that makes it what I want.
I get what you're saying.
Season?
Check the new season. I haven't checked the new season yet.
Highly recommend checking.
I heard. And listen,
there's a winter event going on right now that I haven't tried yet, but
maybe I will do some of that. Like, don't get me wrong. Also, like the 2 games I played the most of this year, which I mentioned before, that aren't the game of the years because they're not in from this year. I'm starting to play them less anyway. So like I could put some of that other time into like D4 and play a new horror game. I wish it came out this year because I would love to put on my game of the year, but it didn't. So unfortunately, it won't. But yeah, Diablo 4.
Cool. Josh, what you got? Number 5.
Hogwarts Legacy. Loved it. Great game. My top. Actually, why did I put Diablo 4 at number 4? Oh, I remember because I thought I was.
Oh, no spoiler alert. Oh.
Whatever. I'm like mad at myself for putting it at number 4. I don't know. I'm like looking at it, and I'm like, I don't know why I put it. Yeah. All right. I'm flipping it. I'm flipping it. Okay, so I'm gonna do Diablo 4.
Oh, okay, cool. I never would have.
Oh, Diablo 4 is 5. Great, awesome.
Yeah.
Diablo 4.
I don't know. I liked it, but I had fun with it for like a couple weeks, and then it just fell off the face of the earth for me.
I will say, I because you didn't play Diablo 3, right?
Oh yeah, I played the shit out of Diablo 3. Not as much as you did. Not as much as you did, but I platinumed it. So I mean, that I've only platinumed like 5 or 6 games in my life, and it was one of the few games I've platinumed. So, but okay, I'll just straight up tell you why I was super hyped for Diablo 4. Like Hooch was talking about the itemization of things. Let me tell you, as a stoner, nothing is worse than going into one dungeon, clearing one dungeon with your boys that takes like 10 minutes, and having an entire inventory full of things with 3 green upward arrows, and you don't have any fucking clue whether or not it's an actual upgrade because
no upgrade arrows. There's no arrows.
I thought there were 3 arrows.
Not in 4. No.
Are you sure?
You're thinking of Immortal, my friend.
Oh,
there are no arrows that indicate if your gear is better than you.
Oh no! I thought that
better than it.
Are you sure about that?
No, I thought there was like a thing that has like an indicator that says,
Dude,
this
like
is now
every
better
Blizzard
than this,
game that
or-
every Blizzard
9-4.
game I play does
9-4.
that, but that would be surprising. Anyways, whatever.
I
It
do
doesn't
know
matter.
It lists
Maybe that
stats
would have
of
helped.
gaining and losing.
Maybe that would have helped.
Yes.
Because let me tell you that nothing for me is worse than having to go to the fucking go to the town and sell my entire bag and say to myself, is any of this shit an upgrade? And not actually know whether or not it is without having to break out a calculator or go to my whatever max roll build that I'm doing for my character. And it just sucks, man. Not a good game, dude. And this is the same problem I have with Path of Exile. Apparently the trailer for Path of Exile 2, by the way, was fucking off the charts dope, phenomenal looking, and it makes Diablo 4 look like a child's play kind of game. Not even joking. So, which pisses me off because I'm not a fan of Path of Exile and I am a fan of Diablo. So, I really don't like PoE, but I will say then the new one's going to definitely put Diablo 4 to shame, even though I'm putting Diablo 4 at my number 5 game.
Even though it's coming out in like 2-3 years.
It's going to put it to shame, dude. It's
Yeah,
going to, dude.
Wait, didn't Path of Exile 2 just drop?
No.
No.
The trailer
No,
dropped.
they just-
The
The
announcement.
trailer dropped. Yeah.
I don't know why
Yeah.
I thought it came out already.
They just did a new season of Path of Exile recently. That's why. Yeah. That's like the new thing, right? That everybody's, and I think it's smart actually that they're doing everything like seasonally now, so that instead of like promising this grand wall, like, oh, we're going to, put this in there, we're going to put that in there, we're going to put this in there. And they deliver all, or they make all these promises they can't deliver upon. They're just like trying to realistically come out with new ways to like fresh ideas for a seasonal concept. I don't know. I mean, they're doing it with WoW. They're doing it with almost every other game that's like this, it seems. But I don't know. It's like the new direction of these MMO games, it seems, or the massive online scale. But anyways, that's my number 5.
Cool.
Hooch. Did Hooch already do his?
I already did mine. I did
No,
mine.
now we're
He
at
always
five.
goes. He always goes start. He always. Just,
Oh, we're at
Yeah, we
four.
always,
We're
we
at
always go
four.
with the guest
All right.
first.
Hold
We
on, I
always go
haven't
with the
gone
guest
yet.
first.
5.
I was gonna say, yeah, you gotta do yours. Yeah.
I just didn't know your mic was working or not, so I just.
Oh, it's working.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Go XLR. You're on the chopping block real quick.
I'll send you some links.
Number 5 for me is Final Fantasy 16. So
Yeah, tell me more about it.
So Final Fantasy 16 for me it combined a lot of different things. I loved. It just had a darker tone to it. And I really enjoyed it. For me, I kind of explained it to people as like, Game of Thrones meets Final Fantasy, because there's like, it's like people, like main characters like die in this game, and it was crazy, and I really liked the direction that they took it in. I thought the combat system was very fresh, and like it combined a little bit of like what they did for Final Fantasy VII Remake with the action-y type of game, with just making it feel like, I don't know, it's just super fun in terms of like the engagement, what you could do in the fights and the battles. I really liked the icon battles, which just felt like, man, some of those icon battles were just absolutely insane. Like, I don't think I've ever experienced a fight like that before, and it just blew my mind in terms of like the scale, what they were able to do. Everything was running at like 60 frames a second. I was just like, this shit is awesome. Like, there were definitely fights where like after it just happened, I just paused the game. I like turned to my wife. I'm like, that was fucking cool. And she's like, what was it? What just happened?
Yeah. Was she on her phone the whole time?
Yeah.
Classic.
But there is, I've played some of them down here, like in the screen behind me. So you like just had this fully immersive fight. Like there's this big fight with like three or four icons that, fight together or against each other. And you're just like, this shit, it's just wild. Like, it just feels like one giant ass like battle, and like you're in the middle of it, and it's super cool.
They were definitely using
the acting was great.
They were definitely using
was
the
great.
graphical advantage of the PS5. That shit looked insane.
It was just really, really good. I wanted to platinum it, but one of the things is to beat the game the hardest difficulty level, and the game was hard as is. It's like, I just didn't feel it, and it was like 60 hours to beat the game. I was like, I really want to go through it again. Granted, I could skip all the cutscenes, but so I thought it was really, really a really good, solid story. Kind of a little bit of a tearjerker at the end, and it was just like overall, it was just fucking good. It was really, really good. It was a real contender for my game of the year, but there's just better games.
As somebody that vehemently hates that that is Final Fantasy 15. I'll tell you why this game was a darker tone, because Final Fantasy 15 should be called Fuckboy McGee and his 3 pals go across wherever.
You didn't like the cup of noodles that you have to have it every single time you do a campsite visit?
I don't like Noctis. Okay, I just find that I really find that Final Fantasy 15 was a story about a fuckboy and his buddies, and it was just a terrible story, and the gameplay. Anyway, so I love the fact that they kind of do that though, like in the way that the Final Fantasy story goes. It's like 7 was this like really love torn story where like is. I guess it's a spoiler if I say what happens. Yeah, but Rebirth is coming out soon, and there's people that have never played it, and I don't want to like.
Yeah, avoid spoilers if you can.
Yeah, but anyways,
it's coming out soon.
Anyways, seven's like is like a very like dark story. 8 is a 8 is a straight up love story, and then 9 is this like cheeky game with very like whimsical characters. They go back to the Final Fantasy real root theme. Then they go to 10 with Titus, and Titus was like this really like emo kind of story, but there was like I don't know, and then you go to 11, which was the fucking RPG. Then you go to 12, and so it's like they have like this like weird they have this like weird ebb and flow of how they kind of like thread the stories of being really dark, and then they'll do like a love story kind of thing, which is what 15 was. And so yeah, I don't know. I will say that I like hearing that, because I didn't beat
14?
16.
I don't remember. Oh, 14 was
14 is this MMO. Yeah, 13 was 13 was Lightning, and Lightning was that's I don't know. Like that was kind of a weird story. It didn't really check the box of any of the above, I could say, but 6 is a very dark story. So anyways, I love Final Fantasy. I love that they kind of like keep along with the trope of
there's a definite theme for each one.
Yeah.
And the last one, like one that came out last year, which is
Strangers of
Paradise was great too.
Fucking great game. That was one of the best Final Fantasy games they've come out with in a long time. I really like
the combat system in that game.
That one was the shit. Yeah, no, that game was the shit. Honestly,
they had a DLC come out for it. I need to play it.
Yeah. Anyways,
okay. All right. Hooch, what you got for number 4?
Number 4, Jedi Survivor.
Yup.
Again, another honorable mention.
Holy fuck, dude!
Yeah.
No, hold on.
Did you not have that on your list? He didn't have it on his list.
Forgot. Diablo's now is number 6.
Hooch, please continue. Just go,
please.
Just continue.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
continue,
it's real simple.
Continue.
Star Wars, Jedi's, Force powers. Do I have to say more? Really?
Truly.
Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah, I mean, I also like one of the cool things I did was it picked up exactly where the last one, well, not exactly, but it picked up where the last one left off, and the fact that Cal already has his abilities that he has, and it just goes, okay, we know you know how to do this, and he knows how to do this. Now let's give him more cool shit to do. And then also the skill tree was cool about like, okay, I can boost up like these particular abilities and stuff that I want to do. So there was that choice that you could make there. You eventually get everything anyway, so it wasn't a big deal. I didn't really like the whole central like base mechanic, because some of that stuff just felt like extraneous and just like added shit to lengthen the game. Like, do I really need to worry about gardening? Like, and why do I have a fish tank?
That's funny.
I don't care.
That's funny.
Yeah, but it was like, all right, whatever. Give me more reason to go exploring worlds and kill stuff and force choke things and throw them off the cliff. Yeah, whatever. I'll do that. But yeah, that's my number 4.
Awesome. Dom, what you got?
My number 4 is for Dami G, Counter-Strike 2.
Oh.
I totally forgot that came out.
I didn't even know. I didn't know it was out yet. I need to try it out.
Yeah, it's been out. If anyone wants to play it, it's free to play. It is literally, it's like there's nothing special, guys. There's not like,
just
there's
updated,
nothing new, but the graphics are a little nicer. There are a couple new maps, and I just love Counter-Strike. So like, you give me a new Counter-Strike game, I'll fucking play it. So here we are. It's tight.
What is the owner of that company? What's his name?
Gabe Newell?
No.
Gabe.
Oh,
Gabe. Yeah, Gabe.
I gotta say that that's one of the things I love about the internet. They do some fucking amazing things with AI scripting his voice and basically saying,
sure.
Dude, yeah.
Half-Life 3 official. He said it.
Have you guys seen some of this stuff floating around on Reddit things?
I don't think so.
Next time I see one, I'm gonna link it to you just because it's actually hilarious. But yeah,
But yeah, Counter-Strike 3. I just love Counter-Strike. I'll always play Counter-Strike or Counter-Strike 2. Sorry.
are you one of the OGs that like came across it like as a kid?
Yeah, well, so I played at the tail end of the first Counter-Strike 1.6, but what really got me was Counter-Strike Condition Zero. And that's the one I was like actually pretty competitive in and would do like LAN tournaments at the local mall. There was a game called Games 3 that you can, or a shop called Games 3 where you can go in and you could rent, you pay $15, you get to play any game for the day. And they would do like LAN tournaments of like Condition Zero and shit. So me and my buddy, Vinny and Render, shout out to Vinny and Render. We played, God, dude, we played so much Condition Zero. It was like insane. So yeah,
I remember when Counter-Strike.
What'd you say?
Oh no! I remember Counter-Strike was just a mod within Half-Life. So
Also,
I go back old school.
Yes, I'm not that old. You fucking old fart.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Hoosh.
But yeah, I think I don't need much out of Counter-Strike to play it, and I'm not a very good Counter-Strike style of shooter. Like, had a couple moments in Valorant, when it first came out, but then it easily surpassed me. And the same thing happened to Counter-Strike 2. I played it for a bit when it came out, like quite a bit actually. But then the second everyone started getting like
Sweat.
No, not even sweat. I don't mind sweat. I like to sweat. I like to, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, no, I get it.
I enjoy the competitive nature of it, but there is a point where people who are playing it more seriously than you will start to surpass you.
Oh, yeah.
And once you get to that point, you're kind of like, I could either just keep getting smoked, I could actually put some effort in to get better, or I just say like, this is what it is. And that's kind of what happened to me. I just said, this is what it is.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Jeff, what's number 4?
I did an audible because I actually like brought the games for my top 5 out, and I did have it here, and I don't know why I took it off, but yeah, Jedi Survivor is also, I'm gonna put it at number 4 because for me there is nothing better for me than taking a stormtrooper and throwing him off a cliff, like with the Force, just being like,
That's fair.
Committing murder is always a good time.
Well, against a stormtrooper, not
Yeah,
real life or
specifically.
anything. Yeah, fuck stormtroopers
And robots.
But no, it was like he was saying, the story was on point, and it was fun to like in the first one he was so green and he just like was like, I think I'm I don't know, I got this lightsaber and you can kind of do some things with it, but this one you really pops off, like you really get to do some like dirty things. And I feel like as somebody that really enjoys Dark Soul-ish kinds of games, they do a good job of it not being like, it's not as brutal as Elden Ring. Like it's pretty brutal. Like you can definitely get destroyed very easily, but it doesn't feel as like there's no boss in that game like Millennia or anything like that, where I'm like I just,
It was
cower in
definitely
fear.
harder than the first one, right?
It was way harder than the first one,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, but
Even on easy, because I play those games on easy now. If there's an easy mode, because I don't got time to like fuck around. I'm just like, I just want to play it and enjoy it. So I have no shame.
I think I no lifed the all bosses run in Dark Souls 2 during COVID, and I think about why I can't do stuff like that anymore. And I'm like, oh yeah, because I had a shitload of free time. But yeah, that's gonna be my number 4.
Cool. It is also my number 4, Jedi Survivor.
Oh, look at that! Look at that!
Nice.
Look at
Saying,
that!
That's funny.
It was great. It was also another platinum for me. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the evolution of the characters. I thought there's some really cool stuff in there, and like, not to spoil it for many people, but there's a lot of people who die in that game. And
Yeah.
they no holds barred. And I thought that was.
I like the actor they picked for Cal.
Yeah.
I remember
He's a great
him.
actor.
Yeah, I remember him. Well, I mean, I first saw him on Shameless, like, cause I think that was like the first thing he came on TV with, and so it was just, I don't know. I think he does well with it. He definitely does.
And they're adding him into the canon, right? And he's going to be a part of the universe, I think.
Oh, really?
Cal Kestis? Oh shit! Hell yeah!
I thought
He should
so.
be.
I thought
He
like
should
his
be.
actor specifically is going to be a part of it. So
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
nice.
there's people that can be in like an actor in a Star Wars movie, and then there's people that can like actually play the role of a Jedi, and I think he actually wants to play the role of a Jedi, whereas so I think that would actually be good. I don't. Yeah, and like Dom was saying, he's a great actor, so I mean, I think I'm down
yeah, because
to
I
see
think
that shit.
that realm takes place around the time of the Mandalorian. If I'm remembering correctly, the timeline.
Interesting.
It's pretty much around that time. We're just slight. I think the Mandalorian might be right after Return of the Jedi.
So Cal is canon, but no one knows if he will appear live action.
Yeah. So because that takes place between Empire Strikes Back and Jedi Return of the Jedi.
Sounds about right.
So it could be the next in the series that they intersect.
Yeah, I was gonna, man.
The end boss in that game was kind of meh, I think.
Don't know this?
Yeah. It was. I
was just kind of like, this is the boss?
Yep.
Like,
I agree.
Fine. I was like, okay. I mean, I still enjoyed it, but I was like, this just felt like a bunch of wasted potential, but I still enjoyed the game overall. So it was fine. So.
There was such huge buildup, and you're like, oh my God, this is going to be tough. And you're like, wait, that was it?
Yeah,
Okay.
Exactly. Although getting to that end boss was epic as fuck.
Yes.
I have to say.
Yes. Agreed.
It was quite some of the best like platforming, just world building, crazy amount of like graphics. Like whenever I play those types of games where like you just literally can see for like miles in either directions. Yep. I'm like, how do people build this? Like, how much time did it take to like sculpt every little piece of this? I mean, a long, long time.
And think about in Red Dead 2, they did that, but then you can go over there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Insane.
That's like
it was Zelda, so.
It's like Lego Fortnite, man. You can go to a high place, see all of this stuff out in front of you. You can actually go there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow. So,
Same thing with Elden Ring.
What you got for number 3?
Number 3, Hogwarts Legacy, which until like it came out early in the year and was a strong contender.
Like February, yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, this is the problem. It was released too early, and in a year where you had a new Mario game, a new Zelda game, and several other games, I was worried that it wasn't going to be game of the year, and
not even close.
It's not even close. Like,
no,
you get to the game of the year
running.
award, it's not even on the list. It's like, oh my God, that's crazy. But this game,
and it was a phenomenal game.
Yes, exactly. And it was great because you're in the Harry Potter universe. Yeah. But it's not centered on Harry, Ron, and Hermione and that whole thing. It takes place way in the past. It's its own stories building. You have touch points to the various like canon that we already know, which is kind of cool because you need that connective tissue here and there to feel like you're in the world. But like, it was just great to be able to wander around that world. We talked about a second ago, like you could see forever. You're on a broom, you're up high, you could see forever, and you can actually go fly over there. And there are things that you could go explore. And, the combat got a little repetitive. The controls, the control scheme for how you had to like constantly switch through your sets of spells, that was a little bit rough, right? Janky. Versus another game that I'll go on to later, and I'll go back to the comparison. I'm not going to spoil it right now. But like, it was still fun to try to find all of the different spell combinations and counters. It was like, I do this one to set them up here, to do, to blast them, to hit them with this one, and that was some cool shit that really kicked crap out of them. So that was cool. The room of requirement feature was a thing that I thought was like an interesting idea. Especially when you had the areas outside that you could build a bunch of cool stuff, but like it didn't really get you anything. Like most of the time you were just like, I'm just making plants and stuff so then I can turn around and use them to increase my abilities and stuff like that. But like overall, the whole idea of like, here's this thing that you can customize and create kind of fell a little flat. It would have been cooler if there was like more to it and you got more from it. The other thing was like, again, I'm gonna, not semi-spoiler, another game on my list where you have the option to do good or bad things, but it didn't have a super huge impact on like the story, because like you can be a jerk but people are still gonna interact with you in kind of like the same way. It's like, you stole my stuff but I'm still gonna talk to you. Like, no, I'm an a-hole, I want to be an a-hole. You get to the ending and you have a choice that you can make, but again, it's not like the choices you made prior to that led up to this, right? So that's kind of an RPG element that I like. Like, if you're going to give me the option to be like a bad person or do the bad things and keep me on that path, because that's what I'm choosing. Don't make it seem like, well, you're a bad guy, but we're still going to treat you like you're the good guy and you're going to save us all. It's like, no, I'm not. I think I've proven that I'm not the good guy here. What are you doing? Right. Yeah. So, but yeah.
Did you ever play Infamous back in the day? No,
I didn't.
So
I wanted to.
There's like 3 of them plus First Light, I think, is like one of the first launch games for the PS4 or the PS or PS4, yeah. And that was like, it was one of those type of games, like an action RPG, and like people treated you like you choose either to be good or bad, and if you actually played as bad, like your choices throughout the game gets carried with you, which I thought was awesome from an action RPG standpoint. So it's kind of
yeah. I love games like that where it's like, well, you did this thing back over here, and I remember that. I don't want it to go to the extreme as some games where they're like, you murdered somebody in this other town. Anytime you go to a town, all the NPCs are trying to murder you, and you don't have access to any of the services. Like, that's a little bit
Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning did that.
Yeah.
I remember because I was like playing the remake. I was like, I'm gonna try this. I never played it, which is super fun. I highly recommend if anyone wants to play it.
Yeah, I think I spent like 20 hours just running around the castle before I actually left and did anything outside.
Yeah,
or not Hogwarts, not the castle, but is it castle? I don't know, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, and Hogwarts Legacy, it's the castle.
Hogwarts. Yeah, I just ran around fucking Hogwarts doing shit inside of there for literally, I think it was like 20 hours before I even left. So
yeah, lots of cool puzzles. The story was actually really cool.
A lot of puzzles in the school. Yeah, that was what I got stuck on. Were all the puzzles, and then I'm like, oh wait, shit! There's a whole combat aspect to the game too. Like, hot damn!
Outside,
I can go kill things. Like, holy shit!
Anyone I saw on Twitch that killed cats with a Vada Kedavra, I just wanted to do some back. I wanted to like hit up some of my Twitch coworkers and be like, ban this person.
Yeah.
Banned.
I have
cadaver on cats.
I have a distinct no cat killing allowed in any game I play. Like that extends to every game ever.
I just know that if I played it, I would just say something like every time I did a killings.
But that's also another cool thing. Like they did give you access to the unforgivable curses. They were like, you can use these. Yeah. But like that's the thing. If I'm using them, like the whole story is like, don't do it, blah blah blah, going down a bad path, and you do it, and it's like, yeah, whatever.
Right. That's kind of
it's not so bad.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. That's kind of a little like light of I hear you. That makes I'm with you.
All right, Don, what you got? Number 3.
Number 3 is Dead Space remake.
Ooh,
I knew that was good. Was that your remake? That was in your I knew.
The Dead Space remake. What a great remake. Graphics were on point. The additional little story pieces. Still, even though I played that game, I went through that game like a handful of times. Like, you know what's coming out. You know when something's going to come out of the ground, come out of the wall, whatever. It still gives you the chill. It still scares you. And I think that just goes to show you how great of a world they built, where even though, like, you're walking in a hallway, you see a dead necromorph on the ground, and then in the hallway, you're like, that's going to jump out at me. I'll be fine. And you still jump a little bit. Like, you know what? That's good. That's good. I think...
That's good environment building, right?
Truly. And I think if there's one and that's really what's so scary about Dead Space and what they did so good with the first one is it's less about the monsters and it's more about the environment. That's what actually makes you afraid.
The suspense, right? Yeah. Yes,
they're like the noises you hear in the distance, the lights flicker every once in a while, like just wow. I think I really do think the first Dead Space is up there like my top like favorite games of all time, let alone the remake being the game of the year for me, or like in the top game of the year for me. But if you haven't played the remake, and you enjoyed Dead Space, I think you should. I think it's worth a check out if it's on sale or anything, because it's just better. It looks better is the main thing. Like all the additional story stuff, I don't really care too much about it. They added like small little extra quest stuff. Isaac talks a little bit more, which is funny, considering like he doesn't. I don't really care about all that. It just looks, the graphics are nice. So
one of the questions I have about your feeling of Dead Space is like, it was one of the first games I saw where they made a concerted effort to change the UI to be more immersive with the game. Yes. And I feel like that helps add that sense, because it's not taking you out, but it's like everything feels like it's a thing that would happen in this universe.
That's a very good point, actually, because and if you haven't played Dead Space, the UI isn't like normal games where you have like, a health meter and a map, and you have
your
all
health
this
is
stuff.
on your spine.
Everything comes off your body, off your rig, because you're in a mining rig, And yeah, like in your spine, you see your health. You see on the back of your back is a little oxygen meter, and then you also have your little kinetic meter. These are all on you. When you want to bring the map up, he pulls his wrist up, and it pops up as a hologram. It's a hologram in front of you. Like it's all. You're right. It's all immersive. It's all adding more into the environment. And like these things won't pause. If I'm down a hallway and I pull my map up, and then suddenly a necromorph jumps out, I have to quickly get out of my map to shoot this thing. Yep. Yes, very good point. All add into the wonderfulness of the environment that they've built.
I will have to play it this week.
It probably actually would have been my top two, to be honest. But
I figured it was going to be number 2 for you. I already know.
Now my number 2 is a game I've been playing a lot of, and just for silliness.
All right, Josh, what you got? Number 3.
Super Mario RPG remake.
I didn't even know they came out with a remake of that.
Oh
yeah.
Yes. I already beat this, and it took my friend and I. Okay, so fun fact: I bought my Trondo, my best friend, years ago. He when I was in between my career and I was like dirt ass broke. He bought me a Switch. Him and his girlfriend bought me a Switch for Christmas, and so that we could like play Mario Party together and stuff like that. And he's been going through a rough spot, and he's in between. So I bought him one for Christmas this year, and
sweet.
Got him this, and I got him Front Mission 1 remake, which Front Mission is a think Final Fantasy Tactics kind of game, but it's like with mechs. And so anyways, he once he got this, we played through this in I think it took us like a day and a half. Super fucking fun. They did it. They nailed it. I
love the first one. Was
literally
Super,
not a
Super Nintendo's.
Yeah, literally not a complaint to be had about that. They did a phenomenal job revamping. I mean, it's one of the best games of all time, right there. And they didn't try to do anything to it. They just modernized it and made it look better. And for me, that's what I wanted. They didn't need to touch a fucking thing in the game because it was already perfect. So, anyways, that's my number 3. And
I'm really hoping for a Switch Pro, so that way I can. Because we have a Switch, but I kind of just wanted to play something. But
you want one that's a little bit bigger? You want one that's a little bigger? Yeah.
I mean, I could always hook it into the dock and just play it that way because we have the controller and whatnot. But I haven't turned the Switch on.
I don't really like playing games on the Switch very much. But that's one of the few that'll get me to Metroid Prime, that one, and the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster Collection are examples of games that'll actually get me to play on the Switch or Mario Party. But yeah, I'm sure the new Mario game that came out this year was phenomenal. I didn't play it, but I heard it was.
I don't think there was a new Mario game this year.
Yeah, it's not really. I mean, obviously,
there was Mario Wonder.
Yeah,
Wonder. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's my number. That's my number 3.
It got Mario Wonder is it just goes.
Oh, but
bizarre,
no, sorry,
right?
but there technically yes, it is a new Mario game, but it's not the last Odyssey. It's a 2D game.
Okay, gotcha.
Well, yeah,
It's a side.
3D.
Yeah.
Sorry.
2.5D. Guess you want to call it. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought we were talking about a new Mario game, the last one being Super Mario Odyssey, or an open world, not open world, but you know what I mean.
No, but Odyssey was a big game. That's a big Mario game. So that's why I get what you're saying. Yeah. Cool.
All right, number 3 for me is Diablo 4. So Diablo 4 is number 3, and it was lower on my list. When it came out in June, it was I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the storyline. I never got to end. I got to end game, but never got to end game because when it first came out, it was really hard to level. It took a long time to level, and it was kind of meh. So I got to level 89. Put the game down, waited till the next season. Season 1 was okay. Played it. Really, I kind of enjoyed it, but didn't really put a whole ton of time into it. Actually, I did put a whole bunch of time. What am I saying? I put a lot of time into season 1, and it was fun, but not meh, right? So I played a sorcerer at release, and then I played a Bone Spear Necromancer in season 2, and then season 2 came out. And oh boy, did that game get super fun. I really enjoyed it, and they changed it so that the leveling was faster. They added new abilities with all the vampire stuff.
Right.
That just made it just super fun. They added these new events where I just wanted to go in and just just kill a bunch of demons and just have fun, just like go through and just like wipe the floor with everybody. And I came back and played a sorcerer again because I was like, I want to try, because they apparently like the thing was like sorcerers in like release were just like absolute shit. Like they're like one of the worst classes. I happened to pick that one. Of course it did. So,
of course it happened to be the one that I picked.
Yeah, and so in season 2, like sorcerers were like the most powerful character out there besides like Hodobarb. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna play this character, and man, did I have a lot of fun with a ball lightning sorcerer, and you just running around, just ripping through everything.
It did look cool. Yeah,
it was.
I didn't do sorcerer. It did look cool though.
It was fun. Like honestly, it felt like I wish that this is how the game felt at release because I would have played more. And it was just like if this is what they're going with, like I'm hats off to them because they're listening to the community, they're giving feedback, they're doing all that stuff. They added a new dungeon, so once you hit end game, like you can actually make it harder on yourself to go like push
Fine,
those
I'll
levels.
update it.
Called,
oh wait, don't you owe me a season?
Yes, I do actually.
Wait,
From the
we
first
have a
one.
bet for something. Why
We bet when it was going to come out, and I said it was like a week later than it actually came out. So that's what it was.
Oh,
so
look at that!
You cash it in now. You got one more like month of that, or I can get it to you next season. So,
No, let's wait for the next season.
so I was really happy with. And there's a Christmas event or holiday event that's happening now that I haven't had a chance to log in and try it out yet. I was traveling for a while, and I just really enjoyed it. So the new, I tried the new, like I'm at the end game, right? So they added new character, new ability, not abilities, what am I thinking? Bosses, the word I was looking for, where you can actually fight a lot more new bosses to get different gear. They made it easier to get the Uber loot with the gear, with those bosses. You can fight Duriel. It's fun. It's hard. It's like, it felt like a perfect balance across the board for me, and like it felt rewarding. Still didn't figure out the itemization, which is really frustrating for a game that's all about itemization. Yeah. So you still have the problem of you're going to go do this thing and you delete all this stuff, or you have to sift through your bag. But
it's just silly. Like they just need to go back. Okay, look, Diablo 1 and Diablo
arrows.
2. Diablo 1 and Diablo 2 did it right with the items, like, because you can still name items from Diablo 1 or Diablo 2 that are like iconic, right? They don't do any of that with these modern games, and that's what they need to be doing. I can name items for you from EverQuest, Final Fantasy 14, like they're iconic weapons that you can collect. And
Shaco.
Yeah, the Harlequin Shaco. Yeah, like there are items that you can collect and that was a green cap that had +1 to all skills and magic fire. Like I remember this shit, right? But like they don't do that in these modern games, and that's the biggest problem. Is that the game is the whole point of the game is to get to like 100 or whatever and collect badass items. Who the fuck cares if you're just collecting a bunch of randomized shit? Like there's nothing like. It's just to me it's pointless, but that is what loses the replayability of it, and that's why they have to crank out these new seasons and reset the ladder constantly, because otherwise people are going to lose interest really quickly, and they do, and they go play something else.
It feels like they still have those items that they're unique items, right? Where
the
like
Uber uniques,
the Uber uniques and stuff like that, like. And what they tried to do was instead of what they had like in Diablo 3, where it was like, all right, when you start out, there's a certain number of items and legendaries that you can pick up as you're progressing, and those are the ones you want for this particular build. They tried to give players more freedom by offering multiple like different things, and it was more about like not the item, but about the effect. And so it was that effect that changes or highlights, accentuates the aspects. Exactly. So the aspects were the things that you were hunting for, because that's what improved or changed how your build played.
Yeah.
Then you use that to get to the point to where you got to the end game. Now you're looking for those unique items. So like they went, and if they had just gone there and brought in the same kind of like stats of that they have in Diablo 3, then it would have been fine. But they doubled down and were like, oh, now we're going to add more stats and things that you can do to a character. It's like, but I don't know for my character what's more important. Is it putting them in vulnerable state? It's like you've got close distance or close damage, far damage, melee. This like there are way too many factors that come into an item that make it so like, well, if I lose this and gain this, what's my overall output?
Right.
And the problem
Nailed
also
it.
with Diablo is your stats don't tell you. You can look at something and be like, oh yeah, my attack value went up or damage value went up, but I'm doing less damage overall because there are other factors that are taken into account that aren't immediately visible to the player.
Yeah, like the additive or multiplicative or whatever.
Exactly.
Like you don't
Yes.
know. And
Yeah. You don't know if a thing is additive or multiplicative, and you're like, I
It's an
don't.
overwhelming
without that
amount of
information.
stat totals.
Yeah.
Overwhelming.
Yeah. The cognitive.
Not even
load
like
is too high.
not even like modern MMO games come out with that many different stat totals. It's that was just a not
Too
a
much
good
to keep
idea.
track
But
of.
anyways,
Yeah.
Anyways,
yeah. So, but even still, I have a lot of fun this season. I'm gonna keep playing it. Like it'll be one of those games where I'll just when the new season come out, I'll play it for like 2 weeks and I'll enjoy it. And I'll play. My goal is like, okay, this new season come out. I want to play the storyline for a couple days, see what the storyline's about, and then see how the gameplay turns out. And then I watch I'll put it down for like a month, see what everyone comes out for builds, and I'll come out and try a build and have fun with it, and then try something new. I really hope they come out because the expansion is supposed to come out at the end of next year. I want to say,
Diablo.
Oh, okay.
yeah. So 2024, at the end of 2024 is when they announced an expansion at BlizzCon. I was kind of surprised to hear that it's going to come out then, but that gives us another 4 seasons worth of content, so it kind of makes sense. But I was hoping for a new character class to play. So because it's going to come, I really haven't I played a rogue a little bit. I got my rogue to 50 for hardcore just to get that trophy, and I haven't really played a rogue since. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see we'll see what the new metas are going to be for the next season, which will be in middle to end of January is when the next season starts. So
You mentioned BlizzCon, RIP E3.
Well,
R.I.P. True.
E3 Expo done.
Yeah.
Was it Electronic something Expo?
Electronic Entertainment Expo.
Yeah. So RIP. No longer. But
Rip. Diablo 4 now playable. Look at that.
look at that.
Updated.
Oh, Dom's playing Diablo 4 now. I get the
I'm not playing.
notification.
I'm updating it. I'm updating it for later. I'm gonna try that later. You fucking ding dong.
All right, Hooch, what you got number 2?
Number 2, Spider-Man 2.
that was
Yeah. I loved the first Spider-Man game and the Miles Morales game. Most specifically because it was just, they did a really good job of making you feel like you're swinging through, New York. Again, as a non-native New Yorker, I don't know how accurate everything is.
It's
Be
pretty accurate.
"Sucks."
Super accurate.
Okay, good. So I was hoping.
Yeah, you don't want to offend him, man. Don't.
No, exactly. I don't. If somebody were to be like, "Hey, we're swinging through," I don't claim San Francisco, but it's the closest thing I know, and it'd be like, "That's not what SF looks like."
Yeah.
But I don't care because I don't consider myself a San Franciscan as much as I'm a person
San
from the Bay Area.
Franciscan.
San Franciscan.
San Franciscan. I love that.
So, yeah.
San Fernonian.
San Josean. I don't know. But overall, the story at first, wasn't grabbing me. Then it changed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit, we're doing this? Oh, okay. And again, it's too new. I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody who hasn't played it yet. But there's a point in the story where the whole dynamic changes. And what you thought you were doing is now something different. And you're like, oh, wow, that's cool. And then they go one step further and they combine the two storylines. And then something insane happens. You're like, what? So, yeah,
That's
it was.
cool. That's
yeah.
cool.
It the whole thing was just really freaking cool to do all of that. The combat mechanic was still simple. It's just very much like the whole thing that Rocksteady brought to us from the Arkham games, where it was just punch, kick, blah, 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 this and that. You've got different abilities. And now I mentioned earlier with the Hogwarts Legacy how it was a trouble to swap between your builds, whereas this was super easy. They were like, look, you use your R1 button or your L1 or your R1 button, and it totally changes the buttons that you can change. You can do R1, it does this, L1, it does this. What you're so basically you've taken the 4 buttons that you have and turned them into 12 buttons or whatever that you can have access to now. Or nine buttons that you can have access to. So great. I'm not switching through anything through the menus. I just can do this immediately on the fly. And then of course you also have button combinations for one thing that you can activate stuff. But then they're like, hey, let's use the thumbstick buttons too. We're like, okay, great. Let's do that as well. So they took the controller and used it to its fullest to be able to keep you in the game and in combat. So I thought that was a really cool idea, and that really helped. And then you did have some choices where you can make some decisions at some point to swap certain powers out, which is just really cool.
I didn't realize that to the end of that game. So.
Yeah, that you can swap the powers out.
I didn't know. Yeah. So I saw like on a tooltip, I was on the loading screen. I was like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know you could. Yeah.
Don't you love that when you find things out like towards the end of the game? You're like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you're like, I could have been doing this the whole time. Oh my god! Because like as you're going through the skill tree, there are certain things you unlock that you do that you just don't have. If you don't swap those out, you're not using them.
Yeah.
Right. You're just unlocking.
I thought I had this thing, but I don't remember what I did with it. Oh well, I guess I'll just keep playing these.
Yeah, and it had lots of cool side quests and side things that you could do that weren't like cumbersome. And it wasn't like too much. So I know some people complained that the game was shorter, like it felt short and felt small. I'm like, I actually think it felt pretty good, as far as like the time that I had to play it and dedicate to it. So, and again, it was just really freaking cool to.
Are those the sweat? Are those the sweats that do that like play the games for a living? That are like,
yeah,
I beat this game in 2 days. These developers suck. They need to make longer games.
Yeah, they're called mono gamers.
There's a name
poly
for them.
gamer. No, I don't know. I just made it up. I was thinking about that the other day of like mono game, because my brother and I were talking about like he plays one game at a time, and I'm like, I wish I could do that, but I can't. I have to play everything. I'm like, I'm a poly gamer, and if you think about how that's spelled, it could mean something different, which I thought was hilarious. So I'm like, okay, yeah.
I don't know that
a polygamer? Are you a polygamer?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, when it comes to gaming, absolutely. One is not enough.
A polygamer? Yeah. Am I a mono gamer because of WoW? No, but I mean, I play WoW and other stuff.
Tons of games, dude. You play tons of games.
All right.
Yeah, I think if there's anybody here who's close to a mono gamer, it's Dom. But Dom still plays multiple games. The rest of us, no, we are poly gamers.
Think about how rarely I play other games. I play like there are right now on the actual rotation maybe 3 games I play like consistently, like video games.
Yeah,
Warhammer counts as a game. Warhammer. So I mean, you do play that. It's a tabletop game.
Yep. Yeah, I think in order to be successful in what we're doing here, it's really hard to be a mono gamer.
Right. I wouldn't even. You're right.
Yeah. In reality, I feel like the only real actual mono gamers are probably like
streamers,
stream games.
Yeah, like Upshaw. He only plays Upshaw. He only plays
Fortnite. And because it's his job, right?
Yeah.
Makes
sense.
What you got?
So number two.
My number 2 is out of left field. I don't even know if any of you guys fucking heard the game unless I mentioned it in the Discord. Huh?
Fly for fun?
Fly for fun. No. It is Starship Troopers Extermination.
I could totally see that.
What? I didn't even know this was
I'm doing my part.
There's a new Starship Troopers game
my part.
that came out this year. It is an indie game. It has become one of my most favorite fucking games.
I'm looking it up now.
It is so good. It is the reason it's so good. It's pretty straightforward game. You know what you're getting out of it. But
it's a first person Starship Troopers, man.
They did so good with the nostalgia of it. It is insane how good they've nailed. So there's a couple play modes. The one I play the most of is a horde mode where you just quickly have to build a base. Hordes, like 10 rounds of bugs come at you, and you just got to survive. There's 3 classes. They're super fun, very basic. It's not big brain, boys. It's not, you don't need high IQ. It is just like literally the only good bug's dead bug. And like the thing that is so tight about it though is like they've really tapped into like every mission starts with the broadcast. The lines about like the in-game lines are really good. And then every time a mission ends, that epic ass like Starship Troopers like soundtrack starts, and like you're running to the drop ship. There's just like literally 1,000 bugs following after you. You see the big mortar bugs are shooting down. Like it is hype. It is hype. It is so. It is like it is a definition. And like if it wasn't for all of that, there'd be zero replayability about it. I'm not even joking. It'd be the same thing every single. But every time you're like, and also like, I'm not much of a role player in games. I don't really care about RP. I'm not like here to like talk about like, I don't get that granular. but every single person does. And you know what? It's one of those ones where I appreciate it. And it is just like,
You talking about like in the streams for it?
huh? No,
You talking
in
about
the
like,
game. Like people talking in game,
gotcha. Okay.
yeah. Like it is hype in that regard. Like if like someone's left behind, you will just the people get really serious about it, and I appreciate it. That's all. That's like pretty much, I don't even want to. I'm gonna make it cringy if I start saying things, but like it's just super fun. And the developers, I forgot the name of the developers, they're constantly like adding stuff to it, making it a little better, fixing bugs. No pun intended. It's awesome. It's great. Base building, Starship Troopers, nostalgia. I love it. I play, yeah, it's an easy game just to hop in, play some Horde, or like there are other, like there's a mode where you have to like refill some fuel canisters. There's a mode where you have to like reclaim some base stuff. It's like, again, my computer's got so loud. Not much big brain stuff, but it is super tight. It's just really fun. I love it. I enjoy it a lot.
Awesome. Yeah, I haven't heard of that. I thought the Warhammer game came out, which is like similar to that, but I think that's
No, it's fucking got delayed till next year, dude.
Oh, did it?
Forever. It's delayed for forever. So
Forever.
You and I hear me talking about that for a while.
All right. Well, when that game comes out, let me know because that game looks fun.
I'm so
as fuck.
excited. I'm so excited for that game.
That'll be
It
fun.
looks great.
All right, Josh, what you got? Number 2.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I could.
Yeah.
Would have guessed.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna put it at number one.
To the people who don't listen, or
Resident Evil
only
4.
listen
Resident
to
Evil
us
4.
on,
Resident Evil 4.
YouTube.com/OG podcast.
Resident Evil 4 remake. Yeah, I mean, it's no brainer. Anybody knows me knows I have a massive hard on for Resident Evil games. But I thought they did a great job with it. I beat it probably like 3 or 4 times. I love it. I think it's fucking phenomenal.
Did you play the DLC that came out for it?
Uh-oh.
No. What DLC?
Yeah, it's a whole like thing with Ada Wong and DLC for it.
Oh, no. I haven't played it yet. No, I know what you're talking about. I just haven't played it yet. I need to, but I loved it. I thought they did a great job of actually like sticking. I mean, they changed a few things from 4. Like they didn't change the storyline, but they definitely like flipped some of the areas where you weren't just like following the same trajectory of the original RE4. So there were different I don't know how to explain it. Like there were just like so many little minor things that don't make a difference to anybody except unless you're like a purist of of games and you're like, we're here when they remake games and they don't. But for me, I thought it was 10 out of 10, dude. I love blowing zombies up, and I loved. They
It's
also
timeless.
Yeah, it's timeless, and they did a really good job with the vendor and collecting items and actually adding a few things to where it wasn't exactly the same as it was in the first game. And
Resident Evil 4, the one where the vendor was like, "What are you buying?"
that's the exact one, dude. That's my boy, dude. So
The Aussie guy.
What are you buying?
fun fact.
I got a lot of RAM waves.
Yeah, that's exactly him. That's my boy,
I
dude.
can't really remember that.
So-
I can't really remember that.
Yeah. So fun fact, we used to this game came out when I was like, I want to say like 19, 20 in college. And we used to buy certain goods and services from an individual that we used to call McDonald's. And so when he would show up in the game, we'd be like, "Oh, it's McDonald's," and he'd be like, "What are you buying?" You know, because he was obviously in the black market. And so it was we've nicknamed that individual McDonald's. And when he came out in the game and my boy and I were playing it, we were like, "Oh shit!" And so it was, dude, I had a fucking 10 out of 10. I'm very interested to see if they're remaking anything else, and I'm sure they're probably going to remake 5, and they really don't need to remake 5. It's not going to be. I mean, I'll buy it, play it, but I won't be as happy about it or hype as I will be if they did a remake of Code Veronica or
0.
Code Veronica or the first one, because they haven't done a remake of the first one.
They did.
I thought they did.
No. You talking about
it was like a remaster.
Yeah, you talking about the one on the game. Yeah. The remaster, but I mean, in my opinion, they need to do like a real with like the re-engine that the RE engine they're using. They need to do one with that.
Yeah, with the
for me,
original one.
They need to do it just for me. I don't care about anybody else in this world. Fuck it. Fuck all of you.
I need it for me. And things just for you.
That's correct.
The cost.
Because I am. Yes, the world revolves around me and me alone. So, anyways,
how Florida of you,
the Florida man of me. Yes, but no, I mean, realistically speaking, I guarantee you they're gonna roll out with 5 next, and I mean, it's a good game. Like, it's just, I would implore people out there that if you're a like Resident Evil person, and they do come out with Resident Evil 5 remake, make sure you're playing it with a co-op person, because the game sucks when you're playing it by yourself, and it's really fun when you play with a co-op partner, because that's the way the game was designed to be played. So, anyways,
I don't remember what 5 was, but
5 was the one where they were in Spain, and you had Chris, and I don't know why I can't remember her name, but
Jill?
No, it's not Jill.
No, yeah, I know who you're talking about. But
I don't remember her name at all, because she was just like a new character. She was just like Jill's. I mean, she was just Chris's buddy assigned to that. Jill was in the game, but she was
the one
under.
Where they ended up in like Antarctica at some point at the end of the game, or is that 6?
That's 6. That's 6 with Ada. Because that's where you're with Leon and Ada. But in 5, it was Chris and I can't think of her name, but you go and Wesker's there, and he's all like roided out, and he puts Jill under mind control and yada yada.
Yeah, I remember.
Spoilers.
Weird.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh my god.
All
right.
Number 2 for me, like Hooch, is Spider-Man 2. For all the reasons why you said, it was a close contender for my number 1. Like the story alone was like a hard contender for number 1 for me, because it was just so good. It was just like you, I was just like, okay, I'm doing these things. I'm having here, like, I remember seeing like some of the markings, like, when is this event going to happen? Not really sure, or whatever. Like, okay, I'm just doing the same thing. I was collecting, because I'm the type of person, like, if I go to a new area, I have to collect all the shit.
Collect everything, yeah.
And then go to the next area, collect all the shit, and continue on.
Yep.
I really like switching between Miles and Peter. I think that was just a really just seamless experience, especially if they had like their own. They have their own challenges based on like the different events. So I love that how like, oh, this is like, oh, this is I'll leave this to Peter to take care of, and then it would switch to you. You would prompt you if you want to switch, and you can do the thing. I thought that was just great overall.
Yeah. They also had their own distinct storylines too, right? Yep. But they all came back. But like, they all converged, for most of the game, converged. For most of the game, you're doing their stuff individually.
Yeah, that honestly, Spider-Man 2 might be, if nobody plays except for the opening sequence of that game, that might be the best opening sequence and like tutorial missions and training that I've ever played in my entire life. It was just like you played that and you're like, okay, this is what I'm in for. Like, it was just like, I don't know how to describe it. It was just like one of the best, like, over the top, like, huge, expansive, like, how are they going to top this throughout the game? They went above and beyond it in the rest of the game.
Yeah.
So I just loved it. The ending was phenomenal. The storyline is phenomenal. It just like, there's little things and hints to stuff that if you played, I highly recommend doing all the side quests, because you will miss certain story stuff that they don't specifically call out. But like, if you know anything about the Spider-Man universe, like, it is like you start to hear things and like, oh, it's this guy, or it goes by this. You're like, oh shit! Like, it's just like, like knowing what's coming. It's just like they just nod to it. So I'm hoping that they come out with DLC like they did for the first one, and that just help make it a little bit flesh out the story, or just give you more reasons to come back and play. Because I will come back and play that game time and time again. It was so good. Yeah, it was. I didn't feel it was very short. I think I put maybe 50 hours into it. I felt great to me. Out of everything, it was just like, that was the game I had like the most satisfaction playing this year so far.
Yeah. By the way, I didn't platinum it, but I got 100% on everything. So I got all the stuff. I did all the events and things. Like, I think there's like a couple of like trophies that I'm missing that aren't. There's one hidden. And another one, there's one more of the Mysteriums that I have to finish and get a gold on. which is probably a hidden trophy. So,
Yeah. Well, I don't think you had to get gold. I think you just had to finish them.
oh,
Something
okay,
like that.
okay. So there was an
Anyway,
additional trophy.
I couldn't remember what it was, but like there was one about like you had to like attack like or use an ability like 25 times and you don't get into like the very end of the game. I just never used that ability because it was hidden for me.
Yeah.
So I had to like that's how I learned. I was like, well, like what is this ability? Like,
Yeah.
oh, I haven't had this whole time, so I had to like spend like 4 hours like trying to find enemies to do it because like, they're few and far between when you beat the game.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
But they're still there.
Harder.
But either way, it was so good. All right. I have a feeling we're going to be similar in the number one, Hooch, but what's your number one?
Baldur's Gate 3. I was gonna try to be something funny, but I'm like, you know what? Forget it. I'll just say it.
Dude, it's just mine's Baldur's Gate 3 as well.
Same
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just too fucking good. Like it was it was the shit.
Don't let him steal his thunder, Josh. Let him
No,
go.
it's all right. I think we're all gonna talk about the same things. Like, I mean, first of all, the game.
I say Baldur's Gate. Fuck
I
that.
know you didn't. Yeah. Damn.
We all know what your we all know what yours is.
My first game is.
Yeah. Hello Kitty Island Adventures.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Exactly. No, so like obviously the game looked amazing. They did a really great job visuals from it. The storytelling was great. Although like some people may have an issue with the storyline, there were still a lot of different elements of like, you know, quests and stories and the voice acting and everything that they had in the game was really good in the sense that they took into account small things that players could do. And they had VO recorded for the off chance that somebody does this thing in this sequence at this time, and then there's a reaction to it. So that ability to plot out and take into the branching aspect of their like I've said time and time again, I was in QA. I would hated to have tested this game, because it is a fucking nightmare of all of the things that you could possibly do as a player, not just from the combat system, which is a whole other thing, right? And it's the use of the D&D rules and this and that, but still the combination of stuff that you could do, the shit that the people have put out on, you know, in YouTube videos. Was it like the group of gnome paladins or whatever that blew up the entire goblin base with using barrels or dynamite or whatever? It was like, what the hell, dude? That's nuts. So, but which leads me to the other point. Like the team really embraced like the community and mods, and they listened, and you know they were really in tune with their player base, and that to me speaks volumes when a development team comes in and goes, "We presented this thing to you, play it, and we'll react to how you play it." Because there's a lot of times in the gaming industry where that doesn't happen. They're like, "You're not playing our game right. We're going to force you to play it the way we want you to play it." Like, no, this game is about play it how you want to play it.
I think that's just Larian Studios in general. They've done that. I honestly, I've been a fan of Larian Studios since Divinity, the OG one that they put out with like the Dragonflight or something like that. I can't remember what it was called. I've been a fan of theirs for a long time, and they've just done everything right. And like, you know what I really wanted, as much as I like Firaxis, I really wanted Midnight Suns to be done by Larian.
Oh, yeah, by Larian.
Did Midnight Suns come out this year or last year?
It did.
It was last year.
Was it last year? I thought it was this year.
Was
it last year? Oh, okay. Okay. I was looking at a list of games that came out this year. I think it was just a platform or a version that came out this year.
It came out.
It probably came out on the Switch. Yeah.
Okay.
There was a lot. There were a lot of games on the 2023 list like that.
Yeah.
Man, I think
this year.
I don't want to like overstep what you were saying or interrupt you, but like, man, the thing for me that Baldur's Gate was the shit was the fact that like you can do literally anything. Like if you literally wanted to fuck yourself over by not being able to proceed forward on a quest because you didn't like the way a dude looked at you or responded to something, you could fuck them up. And you literally
there's always attack.
There's always attack. There's always an attack. And I tell you right now that my friend and I, like, we explored this option several times, and And not once did this ever bite us in the ass. We fucking prevailed every time, and we found ourselves in the most like peculiar scenario. There were so many times my best friend and I'd be like over here on this side of the map, and he'd be over there, and he'd like be having a conversation with somebody, and all of a sudden I just go in combat, and I'm like, Michael, what the fuck did you just do, dude? Like I'm just standing here fucking vendoring shit, and now the whole village, now everybody wants to kill me. Like, why did you just do that? And you know, there were so many times that happened to us, and I'm like fuck, man, like I just sold like 15 things, dude. Like, why did you do that?
Like the time that we got, like we were playing multiplayer, and all of a sudden I got put in prison and died in the middle.
Yeah.
That was like the first time that I played that game, and I was just like not having it, because I was like, this is like Baldur's Gate is definitely a game that you need to play by yourself first, in my opinion, and then play with people, because unless you're Josh and Michael, because he's just like, the two of them just like go off and do crazy stuff, but like I don't have the patience for like other people doing stuff. Like I want to go at my own pace, and so I have to play the game myself. And I was like trying to like experiment, and I was like, I just can't do it. So that put me off for a really long time. I guess we'll just talk about Baldur's Gate because there's three of us, and Dom, you can go first.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'll just read or something. I don't know.
Or you can listen to us.
So,
you could jump in the conversation.
Honestly, you should try it just to see it, because it's on my PlayStation. It's on my account.
Dude, your PlayStation is buried in my closet.
Dude, also,
get back from it.
Side.
Do you want it? You gotta give me back.
Side note, apparently the Bard, fun fact, apparently everybody wants to fuck the Bard, and I didn't know this before I picked the Bard, and literally like everybody at the camp has tried to have sex with me. Like, it is not, and I'm not even joking. Like, I will wake up in the middle of the night, and when you go to sleep or whatever, and Asterion will be on the bed with me and be like, hey, and I'm like, fuck, man, like I don't know, I'm not. And because the thing that sucks about it is that it's not as simple as me being like, nah, dog, I'm not gay. It's like they get offended when you tell them. There's no option for me to just be like, sorry, homie, I'm straight. Like, they don't allow you the option of just being like, no, dude, I'm sorry, I don't swing that way. It's either like, no, you're ugly, like, no, I don't have feelings for you, or like, and they get pissed off when you say these things to them. And it's like, I sort of like, and like really pissed me off, because like we would be like in the middle of doing stuff, and like I would wake up and we'd be in the dream, and Michael would be like, oh shit, he was trying to fuck you this time, like, and it was just like, it like little things like this, like little things like this are why it's my game of the year. You know what I'm saying? Like my best friend and I had a fucking blast playing this game together. Like, we yelled at each other so many times. We were like cussing each other out. There was times where like I was falling asleep, and he'd be like, Dell, move over here. And I'm like, huh. And I'd go over there, and then he would like finish the fight, because he takes like 20 years to explore every opportunity of like, well, if I step over here, I could like, no, I could like, move this barrel over here, and we could take like, and I really understood it finally when we came into like one area, no spoilers, where like we had to attack everything in the room, and we were like setting up barrels. We set up like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 barrels in between all the guys we had to fight. And then he's like standing here. He's like, all right, like, how are we gonna do this? And like, I'm like running over, and I see this ladder, and I climb up the ladder. And I'm like, oh, Michael, dude, we can do this from the rafters. He's like, oh shit. So like he comes up in the rafters, and we drop like one arrow down on this like just wall of things, and we just blew up like 12 different guys at once, and we finished the mission like right there. And we were just like, what the fuck, dude? Like, it's like we tried to do the battle the first time, we got rocked. And it's just like, there's just like little ways you can do things like that. Like you can really like strategically plan out a whole battle, and we did it from the rafters without like doing it. We didn't take any damage. It was just like super easy. So like that game's the shit. Like they really nailed it in my opinion. But
yeah, you can play the game straightforward.
That's what I'm doing. I'm kind of playing it straightforward and just like going through and just like murdering everybody. I'm playing a good role, good version now. Although in the beginning of Act 2, like you get to that town and whatnot, and like in the middle of the darkness. Apparently, you're supposed to win that fight that happens.
Wait, which one?
the one where like the person gets captured and getting captured. Apparently you're supposed to win that. I didn't know that, and I failed it. And everybody in like I'll spoil this part for me. Apparently, if you don't win that fight, everyone turns, like the shield goes down and everyone turns and everyone attacks you and you have to murder the entire town.
Oh, nice.
That happened to me.
Yeah, you need to win that fight. You need to win that fight.
I didn't realize that, and then like going like through, I was like, oh, like I forgot that like Karlach has like some stuff. Like, where do I get this thing? And I like looking, I was like, yeah, you have to like get it from like Last Light In. I'm like, oh no, everyone's dead.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Because Karlach is now useless. Because like,
so Lae'zel is my tank. So and I put Lae'zel and I put Shadowheart as like she's like a smiting paladin now.
Nice.
Because I was getting tired of her like not doing anything except for like just healing, and I was like, whatever.
Honestly, best RPG that's come out in ages. Like it's just.
I recommend playing Divinity Original Sin 2. That game is amazing. I love the first one, and the Divinity Original Sin 2 was phenomenal. I never got a chance to finish it, but the next one the next run once I finish the game, because I'm nearing the end of Act 3. At least I think I'm getting close to the end. I have no idea. Is being able to I'm going to play it as one of the I forget the class itself, but it's like the one that's inherently evil and black out and do evil things.
The Dark Urge, yeah,
the Dark Urge. So I'm going to play an evil run, just be an absolute asshole to everybody, and just like murder random people because apparently that's the way it goes. And I'm just going to have fun with it. I'm going to try a different class. I'm playing a Ranger class right now, and I just want to try to find something else. So
you play one of the weaker classes, unfortunately.
I'm actually.
I'll tell you right now,
I could 2-shot people.
The Bard.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Bard with double crossbows and CC abilities is nothing to sneer at, my friend.
Bard is a great
people
class.
up with the Bard, dude.
I've never been a Bard.
You need a Bard in your party, dude. The Bards are disgusting, dude. I mean, you can, dude. We walked into battle, and my favorite part of walking into battles was how hard I would lock everything down with the Bard and the Wizard combo, because I would basically just like CC everything with the Wizard, or I would charm everybody with the Bard, and then I would drop the Blizzard down, and they'd all be like walking around confused in the Blizzard, like in the Frost AoE, and we would just be like doom 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 from like the distance, man, and it was just easy peasy.
Like I was saying earlier, like you could run through the game and just be like, I'm gonna straight up run in and blast the shit out of everything and just overpower it.
You can,
or like you can do the like what's the cleverest way to solve this puzzle, or some way in between. It's like a spectrum, and the game like allows you to do all of it.
Yeah, you probably would have loved to have seen some of this. I'm definitely not the strategy person. I'm the one. I'm like obviously I don't know. I just talk shit to my friend. He's the one that comes up with these like elaborate, strategies. And he's also put into context. Dom, my buddy is the guy that can platinum like Civilization games. You know how we talk about how like you and I could just like never fucking play a Civilization game. My friend, I woke up one time when we were living in college. I remember I woke up at like 3 a.m. He was playing like Civ 3 on expert difficulty or something like that. And he's like, man, I've almost beat this shit. And I'm just like, I'm going back to bed, dude. What the fuck are you playing, man? Like, this looks like the most boring shit on it. But anyways, it's really cool when you play with somebody like this and you realize that it's like me. I would probably like try to brute force Zerg everything down because I'm just a donkey. That's what I do. But like to play with somebody that's so like, whoa, hold on. Don't do that. Like look at if you do that, this over there is going to happen. And I'm like, I never would have even thought of that, Yeah. And the game's the shit, honestly. Like I haven't, there are very few games you guys obviously know that get me away from World of Warcraft. And that was one of the very few games that I was like actually looking forward to playing other than WoW. So like that game was fun, man.
Yeah.
It's like D&D, it's like the people you're playing with. It's, it can be entertaining,
Right now I'm trying to play the game just for the story, just to kind of learn everything.
Yeah.
But the next run I'm going to do, I'm just going to like, if I fail an attempt, I fail an attempt. Like I'm going to play through and just make it like a one shot, kind of like, oh well, I fail a lockpick. Oh well, can't do that. I accidentally like failed this conversation. Oh well, maybe I'll take the darker path of like, okay, I'm going to betray this person because the second person asked me to do it. I'm like, sure, okay, let's see what happens. So it's fun.
They recently had an update where that's a mode now, where you can just go through on a single save, and it's just whatever happens is what happens. So you don't have to do the honor system. You can just go through, and the game mode forces you to do that.
Kind of like a hardcore system.
Yeah, like very much like a hardcore system.
Hardcore
yeah,
mode.
I think that's what they called it actually. But like, which is another thing. Like they've added several huge updates to the game.
I've seen them come through. I haven't gone through and looked at it because I just want to like finish the experience and then go through and start to do some stuff. So
yeah, well, unlike Blizzard, they heard that like my companion itemization sucks because if the companions aren't in my party, I don't have access to their items. And if I accidentally gave something to someone and I need to get it back, I have to go back to camp. And if they're not in my party, I got to take someone out and put someone in, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, no. Now you have access to your entire camp inventory, your entire, like all your companions when you're in camp. So you can move and shift stuff around. I'm like, see, they know how to get itemization to work, right?
Yeah. Although I will say that there have been some really weird game breaking bugs for me, which has just been like super annoying. Like I just came back to camp at one point in Act 3 and one of my team members was just dead on the floor. Like couldn't resurrect them, couldn't do anything.
Wow.
And it caused me to like miss like being able to do like a significant part of the story that I wanted to do, but I'm like, oh well, I guess I'm gonna kill this other person who you're supposed to recruit because they go crazy because that person's not with you.
That's
so it's just like randomly just like shows up dead on the floor. I'm like, what? Well, I go to Withers and he can't resurrect them. Oh well, this is what it is.
Oh man. So minor spoiler: has anybody killed Gale and not brought him back?
No, I haven't done it. I've accidentally forgotten about him and like he yells at you to go resurrect him, but I've not done that. I've accidentally also done his nether orb too, by the way. That's just fun.
Oh, I haven't done the nether orb, but I will say
Gale's mad at me because I wouldn't have sex with him.
Well, it is a spoiler, but I'm going to save people time. Resurrect him. If you don't, you will literally end the game.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that was the time that you're supposed to like fulfill Gale's destiny. The first time that you're supposed to in like canon, whatever. That is like that is an actual ending to the game because it's just like, oh, that's like that's one part of the ending, but that's not actually how that's not how your story ends. So it was just a really fun. It was a fun thing, but apparently there are like 17,000 endings to the game.
Yeah.
What?
I was like, I can't.
That's like not even.
I wouldn't want to have to be responsible for testing this game. Like you said, there are game-ending bugs. I'm not surprised. I'm surprised the damn thing runs at all.
They had to have had like AI working on the bugs in that game. There's no way that any human could test out all the shit in that game. No way.
There are. I mean, you have all the paths and potential things that are laid out. Like they know all of this stuff, so it's just about following it and finding it, and then of course setting like different triggers. Probably is what they've done. It's just like because that's all it is. It's just like you've done this, or this. So it would have been somebody had to create an elaborate tool where you could be like, all right, here are the things I've done. Let's see what happens now. And
that's why it's the game of the year. You know, hey man, Elden Ring won last year. Baldur's Gate 3 won this year. Common theme: the studios absolutely poured their heart and soul into the games and fucking destroyed it. Whereas these other games that are falling short, like Starfields and things like that, you know, they have these giant studios behind them, and I don't know what the fuck their problem is, but they're just not delivering, and it's purely because of the team. It has to be. It can't be because of any other factor. Well, I mean, actually, that's wrong. There could be multiple factors, but it's all we know. The public.
Overall, there's never been a game that I've put like 80 something hours into on the first run through and be like, I can't wait to play it again.
Yeah. We still kind of have to play it together sometime, but
yeah, we do. Yeah, and it's
hard
fun.
to carve out the time when you're.
I want to play with different.
Japan.
Like I was going to play a necromancer character. Now I kind of want to try something different, but yeah, it looks fun.
I just want to play a character where not everybody wants to put it in my butt, man. It's annoying.
Real quick, between the early access and the release, 390 hours.
Wow. Well, early access was what? Just Act 1?
Yeah, it was just Act 1. But still, like, so much time spent playing that game.
I forgot.
Just glossing over.
Yeah, we're just gonna skip past what Josh just said.
We're gonna gloss over. Some things are better left.
Yeah.
Josh.
Not addressed yet. So. All right.
Yeah.
So
because maybe they wanted you to be the putter, not the putty. Anyway,
wait.
All right.
Wait, sorry, what were you going to say?
I said that's all of our game of the year.
Oh, I thought you were about to just end us there. Like,
yeah,
wait
thanks everyone. Yeah.
What about me?
We know what yours is.
What is mine? What do you think it is?
Zelda.
Tears of the Kingdom.
No.
It is.
I like Phasmophobia.
Yeah, Phasmophobia.
Phasmophobia, 3 years in a row.
3 years in a row. Yeah, of course it's Tears of the Kingdom. Talking about one of... They didn't need to make a sequel. They didn't have to make a sequel. Not only did they do it, they made pretty much what I've been saying since Tears of the Kingdom came out is that Breath of the Wild was the early access, the
prequel,
the beta, Tears of the Kingdom. Because everything great at Breath of the Wild, they just made Tears of the Kingdom better, added so much cool shit, all the building mechanisms, the blueprinting, the story, the some little hidden encounters. Now there's three worlds in our already giant map. The combat, like I can't tell you a bad thing about the game. I would love to give you a bad thing about the game, but I can't. Game is fire. There is some wonky story stuff, but like whatever. Whatever. I don't really. It's not like anything that ruins anywhere near even making the game bad for me. It's not even like a negative thought, but yeah, just kind of wow, you know. I
love to see what people were building with the Master's Glove or whatever. Was that what it's called?
Some of the Master. No, actually, now you're making me blank.
What is
on it.
What is the item that you can build with or whatever? I don't know.
Oh my god!
He's like, I can't remember the name of the item.
Ultra hand.
Ultra hand.
Yeah, obviously, dude, some really funny, like the Gundam, people making Gundams and like giant mech robots and shit.
Jesus.
Yeah, just super fun, just super fun game, like great. And like the problems with the first one, like our weapons always breaking. This is addressed in a few different ways by constantly having a mix up of weapons that you can make great. The ability to fuse things, like, I mean, yeah, dude, it's just like the game is fire. The game is fire. They couldn't have done it better.
Did you beat it?
The fun fact about Tears of the Kingdom was it wasn't supposed to be a sequel. They had a DLC planned for Breath of the Wild, and it was so big they're like, all right, we're just gonna make a new game. And that's where we are. That's why it was out so fast post Breath of the Wild. Like that should not have been probably as close as it was. But also a fun fact, there's an ability where you can swim up through hard objects. It makes it really great for exploring and getting through dungeons, getting through anywhere.
What do you mean by that?
I would love to explain it. If you are under a cliff and there is like a flat like wall over you, or you're under a tree, or you're under whatever, and there's a flat surface above you, there's one of the new abilities is you could literally, if it's not too high up, you jump up through it and you literally swim through this rock and you come up on the other side. It makes traveling awesome. This was a developer tool from the first game, so devs can just like and game testers and all this, whatever, not testers, but can get through the world fast without having to like run all the way around and do this other thing. And they're like, yo, let's make this an ability in the second one. And
so it was basically awesome. Like a map.
Oh no, it definitely would have been for testing.
Yeah.
And it's a great ability. It's so they add that in to aspects of the game. It's not just like they're to skip things. Like some things you have to do that to get to the next part. Some things like there's extra hidden things. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, the game is great. Game is great.
It's one of those games
for me.
Yeah, it's one of those games I wanted to play. I haven't touched my Switch in a long time, but it was like between work and just like mostly work. Yeah, like it was. Totally. I had to put it to the side, which sucked because I was waiting for a new Zelda game.
We live in the day and age of where, you know, there are just so many blockbuster titles out there that you, as a human being, unless you do this full time as a living as a variety streamer, there's no conceivable way you could actually dive into.
Once you become an adult, even outside of like that's a valid point. But once you become an adult, especially if you have, you know, full-time job, you have kids, you have blah, blah, blah. Time is a very, you know, finite resource.
Yeah.
And like even taking the monetarily aspect out of it, like time itself, I have like my free time when I have it, I am very precious about it because I don't always get that much of it. You know, like gone are the days where I'm sitting down and playing 10 hours of a game or something like that. Just doesn't exist anymore for me. So like if I want to play something, I really need to want to play it in order to play it, which is why like there's a lot of games I don't play because like I know I would enjoy it, but I'm just not I just don't. It's not fitting in the space of like what I want to do with my free time, and so that's kind of where I'm at with that. But yeah,
You also play a lot. I think the majority of your time you spend on Warhammer too.
almost
Right?
almost certainly. Yes.
Yeah.
Almost definitely the majority
Yeah.
of my time is really spent playing Warhammer. If you took Warhammer out of it, I would have a lot more free time for video games. Almost certainly.
That's your
But you
shit,
found
man.
something. Yeah, that's your shit. That you found something that you really enjoy doing. I remember back when you first started talking about, I got this figure Warhammer. I think I might start playing. And now, like, look where you are.
Here we are.
Dude,
yeah.
I got a question for you. And I think this is just the same as Pokemon and One Piece trading card game, but Warhammer is definitely an expensive hobby, right? Like you can't get into it on a low budget, right?
There are some armies that require less models to play.
Yeah.
So they're more quote unquote cost effective.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, here we go.
I opened up
Some
a
of
can
the
of
ones that
worms.
I've done.
Shit. Damn it.
I'm starting a new army called World Eaters. There's this Christmas box for
Oh, the Christmas box.
Oh,
So this
Look at
Christmas
that.
box. I need 5 more units, and I have a 2,000 point army just off of
Wow.
this one box. So like, yeah, there are armies that you need that like cost more in the game, like points for us to build the army, that technically cost less money monetarily
you realize.
because yeah. So
Yep, that's,
that's cool.
ultimately
but
part of why
mostly,
I'm
yes,
getting
it's very expensive.
ultimately why I'm like getting out of Pokemon card trading stuff. But I mean,
It ain't cheap.
it's not that it's not cheap. It's that like
Tangible hobbies ain't cheap.
they're not
That's
cheap,
the- always.
and I feel like with Pokemon trading cards, like it's just a never-ending loop and cycle of them spitting out new sets that you got to collect, and this and that. And it's like I collected the one that was the original 151 Pokemon that they did it recently, and it was fun. And I got the master set, whatever. And then I looked at it, and I bought like a couple things for the next one, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, why am I wasting my money on this?
why,
You know,
why
like-
am I doing this?
Yeah, so I just like immediately like stopped. So, anyways, game of the year, good episode, boys. Oh, can I real quick before we do wrap this up? Can I say what I'm excited about? And there's only 3 games I got on this list
Yeah,
for 2024.
Yeah, I guess we have to top that.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm very excited about it because it's the part of the Final Fantasy VII story that I think is going to be really sick. Star Wars Dark Forces Remaster. I don't know if you guys remember Dark Forces or not.
I don't know that was coming.
We talked about it. We definitely talked about
Definitely going to
talked
be
about it
getting.
before.
Either way, excited.
And then Star Wars Outlaws, which is all going to be all about bounty hunters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is that for next year?
Yeah.
Really?
That's what it said. It said 20.
Is that the one by Massive that they were supposed to do? That's kind of like by the people who did the Division. I don't know if that's on.
It is massive. Yeah, massive. Yep.
Curious about that one because that was the game that was supposed to be kind of like the Division-esque, but it sounds like it's more of a single-player game.
Yeah. I'm disappointed, Josh, you did not mention Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
This is
Shameless
my
plug
looking
time.
forward to. No, I'm kidding. What do you-
Shameless plug time.
I just
That's
don't. I
really
mean,
what I'm doing.
is that? Oh, never mind. I forgot. Yeah. So what is this one you're talking about?
Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. It's a new game from Rocksteady Studios that helped bring in usher in the Arkham Asylum series of games. Yeah. It's a switch on the fact that you're now playing as the quote unquote villains, but you're still doing good guy things. Right. The premise is the Justice League has been corrupted, and Amanda Waller activates the Suicide Squad, and you play as Harley, King Shark, Deadshot, and Captain Boomerang, and then you have to take down the Justice League. It's a multiplayer. It's a single player, but also multiplayer game. It's got a lot of like traversal mechanics to it. And hopefully it delivers on what it's promising. It's supposed, like, again, it's Rocksteady, and so they did well with Batman. So I'm hoping they can do the same with this. But we'll see. It's not a game where I'm like, oh my god, I can play this. It's supposed to be great. It was more like just poking,
Yeah, I gotcha.
just poking at you, saying like, hey, these are the games I'm anticipating, and I don't expect anybody to be like, you know what, it's a DC game.
I'm just
I
not
can't
a
wait to
DC
play
guy.
DC game. Yeah, I know. Hey,
I like
hey,
DC.
we're gonna
I
change
like
that.
DC stuff though.
we're gonna change that because James Gunn is gonna take over the helm of the DC like movies.
Is he really?
He's already done that. He's like this, and this is the guy that put Guardians of the Galaxy on the map. And Peacemaker, who nobody knew shit about.
Yo, Peacemaker is fucking awesome. That show was hilarious.
And you can thank James Gunn with the work he did on the Suicide Squad film to make Peacemaker freaking So that
I really hope that he doesn't get like curtailed by is it the right word? Curtailed by like the studio.
No,
that whole line needs a refresh.
He's running the whole line, running the studio. He's now in place. He and Peter Safran are now in place to actually, they're like the Dave Filoni of Star Wars and Kevin Feige of Marvel. That's what he's doing right now.
True. Fair enough.
It's exciting.
Is Josh frozen? Oh no, you're just not moving.
He is in his element.
I don't know the. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, no, there's one more thing. Josh, you didn't put our game on your most excited for next year.
Oh, NCAA 2024?
I mean, come on, man.
Wow, dude.
That's because it should. I thought it was going to be out in 2023. I didn't know they were waiting. They need to just go. I don't understand what's taking them so long to put out a damn football game.
It better be because they're making it really good.
Yes, that's what we'll
I only have two games I'm really excited for, which I don't know.
The Warhammer one, right?
Questionable if it's ever coming out. Obviously, the Warhammer Space Marine 2, definitely that, because that got pushed. But also, the rumors of Metroid Prime 4 are 2024. But
didn't that one get scrapped because they didn't like it?
So they made the game. Yes, the head of Nintendo was like, "This game sucks. Redo it." And that was like
that's a big deal.
That was like 3 years ago.
That was 3 years ago at least.
So the rumor is that it's going to be 2024 release date. But who knows? I would love to play those games.
I know everybody loves the Prime aspect of Metroid. I just have a hard time with Metroid being first person. It's just
I love it. Dude, Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, what a fire fucking game, dude.
I like both of them personally.
Fucking game. That game was fire.
I like the side scroller and I like the first person.
Well, there were side scroller aspects of Metroid Prime 3. They did have that. Whenever you went into ball mode, it turned side scroll when you went through like puzzle, like when you went through like tubes and shit. So that was at least, I think, a nice little nod, I would say. But I think honestly, they did a really good. Speaking of like a good like a HUD, like the Prime HUDs make you feel like you are Samus, and I really enjoy that.
Okay.
But yes, those two games, I hope they come out in 2024. Who's to say at this point?
Yeah,
both getting pushed.
Like Josh, I'm looking forward to that new Star Wars Bounty game. And the one thing that I'll say before we sign off is the one mobile game I'm looking forward to the Division Resurgence. So that I'm very much looking forward to, which I think is soon.
I'll play that. Yeah.
That's in March,
I will definitely play that with you guys.
Just because I've been playing a little bit more mobile games. I quit the Lord of the Rings game because it just got boring and stale. Still playing Eternal Evolution and Cyber Rebellion, but probably when the Division game comes out, I will quit Cyber Rebellion. I'm just going through the motions right now and play that game. And I love the Division. I think it's one of the best IPs that's been out for a while, mainly because it's just like the story, the lore, just everything is just so good. So,
yeah, I liked the Division. Yeah, it was good.
It was good. So anyway, thanks everyone for coming out for the Game of the Year episode. I know that kind of went long. It's like almost 2.5 hours, but thanks everyone for sticking it through.
You had a lot to say,
so
man.
much for coming. You had a lot to say. So thanks so much for coming and being a part again this year, like 3rd year in a row. So
dude, I love it.
4th year in a row? I don't know
how many.
Yeah. So thank you so much for being a part. And until next time, y'all can come find us at on our Instagram, which is og.podcast. Our Twitter is overachieversp. Our website's ogpodcast.fm, where we get this episode, every episode where we talk about what we're playing, what we're looking forward to, and a little bit of gaming news. And make sure you catch us live on Twitch on Sundays at twitch.tv/ogpodcast, as well as on YouTube with the username at ogpodcast. Thank you all so much. We'll see you in 2024. Have a good New Year, everybody. Baby. Have a good holiday. No matter what you're celebrating. Thank you all very much. See you all soon.
Buon Natale.